Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost! If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is 8 p.m. It is Thursday night, and y'all know what that means.
What does that mean? Tell them what it means. I can't believe there's still people out there that don't know what it means.
I don't think there are anymore, to be honest with you.
You don't
but
think
it
so?
means that it's time for another new episode of Between Two Beards. A big one tonight. We have three massive guests this evening. We're not gonna.
I can't count. I can't spell. That's
it's all right. I counted for you. Three. We're gonna bring Josh Robinson, the great Josh Robinson, on here in just a minute.
Oh yes.
And we're gonna talk about his experience in Perth and talk a little chamber with him. And then a little later on tonight, we got our friends Drew Nicholas and Mike from Indeed on. We are going to do an AEW Revolution
now, real quick
preview. The boss is in the chat. Josh is in the chat. Mrs. Pluggo is already in the chat.
Mrs. Pluggo.
Joseph with it. Scott in the chat. Thank you all, friends. You know the drill. Pluggo said it in the chat. Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Let's crush it. Tonight's going to be a big show. Pluggo, sorry, you were going to say something.
I was just going to say, tell Mrs. Pluggo she's
on,
awesome and much love to her. But I was going to ask Mrs. Pluggo, she's the best. Anyway, I was going to ask, is Josh too big to be on this show now?
Big
star Josh Robinson.
I messaged him the other day. We talk often. I messaged him the other day, and I was like, bro, unreal stuff. And I was like, don't mind me. I'm just going to be hanging on to your coattails, brother. That's what I said. I was like, yep, just don't mind me.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Off topic, but
thank you.
JPJ.
A nice color. All right, let's bring Josh on.
Let's bring big star Raptors aficionado Josh Robinson's in the house.
I appreciate
well
that.
done at Perth, brother.
Is this a nice color on me? Does this color look good on me?
Sorry, who are you guys?
Wow.
This is the Between Two Beards podcast. Remember, we emailed back and forth. Spencer's supposed to wire you the appearance fee.
Yeah, I get it. So that was my people talking to you guys. I don't actually manage my own social media anymore. I'm just too busy, you know.
It's fair.
Imagine if I turned into that guy. I would know.
We would hope that you'd still give us the time of day, but everybody else gets that.
Just booked and busy. You know how it is.
We're on the short list of like, oh yeah, I still talk to them.
They're all right for now. we made the initial. You ever see those Facebook posts where people are like, it's time to clean up the friends list. If you've seen this post, you made the cut. We made the first round.
Yeah, we made the short list.
The
short list.
So let's not waste any more time. Like we said at the top right there, you got the awesome opportunity to go to Perth and do the media junket. Is that what they call it? Big Star media junket thing?
Yeah,
with
those
the
are the right
WWE for the Elimination Chamber. First and foremost, how cool was that?
I was just crapping my pants the entire time, like the entire time. So I guess we'll rewind a little because I don't think I've actually told the whole story of how it all came to be. Like I know you guys kind of know. I know JPJ knows because we stream together quite often. So like we have, you know, chats off stream and stuff like that. But so WWE announced they were coming to Australia in, I think it was the end of September last year. And in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, you know, Spencer and Zach and JPJ have had the opportunity to go in, like, for media access at least, and you PLUGGO and stuff like that. Like, I was like, the back of my mind, I was like, that'd be pretty cool, even if I could just get linked up with some tickets. You know what I mean? Like that,
right?
I'll you know, do what I do. And then I kind of messaged Spencer and Zach separately and was like, just putting it out there, like, if there was an opportunity for me to get some media access for Elimination Chamber, obviously that would be pretty cool. Spencer just kind of gave me the leave it with me. We'll see what happens. I'll kind of get in contact with the people that I need to get in contact to. And I was like, cool. It honestly left my brain because I was like, well, that's probably not going to happen. But, you know, whatever. A few months passed by, whatever. And Spencer's kind of like, I'm going to leave the ball in your court now. I've done what I needed to do. We're pretty certain that we're going to be able to get you in there. I wasn't trying to get too excited because I don't want to get my hopes up and then be let down. Anyway, we fast forward a little bit. I'm in contact with, you know, who I need to be in contact with. And I was like, oh, this might actually happen. So 2 weeks before Elimination Chamber, I got the official, it's happening, which was a bit chaotic, but you know, it is what it is. And then, then it was just time to get ready and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was just going into Perth was just a crazy experience because we don't get PLEs.
I was just saying, they're few and far between right now.
Yeah. And like, that's, you know, all three of us on here have had the luxury now of doing media stuff at WWE shows. Because, you know, of the Love Wrestling stuff and things of that nature. But for someone like you, Joe, I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I have wrestling events coming to me on a regular basis. You know what I mean? And like, I've always gone and paid my hard-earned money to go all the time. This is, you know, not, you know, I don't want it to sound like it's a small thing, but it's a normal thing for me. You know what I mean? For you, they don't go over there. I mean, hopefully this starts them going over there more often. That would, I think it probably will. This is the second time in what, 4 or 5 years they've been there or something like that. They had a big event, six. Yeah. So, you know, but for someone like you, this is like, you know, one of the first times, you know, you get to go see them. And now it's like, oh, I get to go and like, you got to experience interviewing the people, which we're obviously going to get into, but like, just the feeling of getting that message a couple weeks earlier just must have been, and obviously you posted it everywhere. You could visibly see your excitement. And, you know,
go on.
I was just going to ask, how many times during that, because when I went to Fastlane, how many times did you go, this can't be happening? This isn't real. Those aren't my seats. This isn't what, like, I got stopped right before the press conference and a lady asked me, she was like, who are you with? Because she's like, and I was like, oh God, here's where it ends.
Yeah, the whole time I was waiting for someone to come and grab my shirt and go, excuse me, how did you get in here? You need to get. I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not meant to be in here. See you later. You know, like I was waiting for that the entire time. But even just flying so we flew into Perth on Thursday. Media day was on Friday. Even just flying into Perth and like an event of that it took over the whole city. There was wrestling shirts everywhere, which is not commonplace, as any wrestling fan knows. Seeing another wrestling shirt is like, oh, that person likes wrestling too. Like there was posters and flyers, and the theme of Perth was purple. Like it was crazy. It was my first time ever in Perth. Hopefully the last. I didn't love it. So it was Perth. Get your crap together. You're so isolated from the rest of the country, and stop being so damn expensive. My God, everything in Perth. I'm physically so broke from Perth. This is so expensive. I don't understand it. It's just so far away. But yeah, like the entire city was taken over by WWE. Like I know WWE say that all the time. Like we took over the city, and I just thought, okay, cool. Like you got a couple of appearances and big whoop. No, like it was a WWE city. The amount of strangers I talked to in even the first day that I was there, of just like, you here for the wrestling? And I'm like, yeah. Why do you assume? It's just like everybody was in that city for Elimination Chamber. It was pretty cool. And like, so Thursday was kind of like we were just tired and wrecked, and we didn't rule anything Thursday. Thursday night is where I really started to get extremely nervous, to the point where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. My biggest fear was that my nerves were going to get the best of me, and I wasn't going to be able to do what I do in a sense. Not to sound too braggy, but I was very scared of that. But yeah, Thursday night I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like it was pretty wild. But even just going over to Optus on Friday morning and stuff, like seeing Optus Stadium, and that stadium is a 6-year-old stadium. It hasn't been it's not very old. It's very modern. It's very new. Even just going over and then seeing like the press conference setup and the amount of fans that were there, and I'm like, oh wow, like we're doing a pretty good job, like of filling this crap out.
And then you saw the Randy Orton lady at the opening presser, and we're like, I got this.
Oh my God. I was on camera for a lot of the press conference. It was so wild because I was just getting Snapchats from my sister and my mom, and they're like, you look so depressed behind that woman. I'm like, and I was just in the back. I was on like Logan Paul's Instagram story and stuff. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm just a person that plays. JPJ knows firsthand. I'm just a person that makes really stupid comments on Twitch streams about dumb old wrestling games. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm like, and it was so weird because like we got like the little press area in front of like the gated off bit. And like for the whole hour, we were getting sunburn as all hell. You've probably seen in my interviews how sunburned I was, but it was like 40 degrees it was so hot. But like the crowd was like chanting stuff, and like I was like in there with a bunch of people. I'm like, there's just like network television news over there. There's just like Foxtel that like air WWE here over there. And I'm like, the crowd was like, there was one point where the crowd were like saying like, hey, Bailey. And then they stopped, but I started filming and I started going like this, and they all started going again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, this is insane. I'm like, why am I here of all people? It was very surreal. The press conference was really fun too. Like it was just hot. It was real hot.
It looked hot. And
it was hot.
when you know that they are continually mentioning how hot it is, you know it's hot. Because they mentioned how hot it was just that whole weekend. I feel like they mentioned it was hot 100 times.
Speaking of hot, Ryan Sullivan of the Mark Orders in the house. Dare the Amazing showed up. Ophelia Payne's up in here. Scott, Alan Bauer saying, you've been killing it, Josh. Amazing job. Ain't no lies detected there.
Ain't no lies.
Feel free to smash that like button, friends. Share out the live. If you feel like getting a super chat read on the air, drop one of those too. We'll make sure we gets read. We'll donate it to Josh.
Was here a little earlier as well, saying hello to everybody.
We'll try to help with the super chats. We'll try to help Josh be less broke because of that amazing trip.
Fair.
So
it's fair.
So if you donate, you want to donate to Josh Robinson
everywhere. Prices everywhere nowadays are it's absurd. It's absurd.
I'm telling. Do you think
they do a whole hour on that?
Do you think that they raised the prices a little bit in Perth because they're like, we're gonna have all these people?
Absolutely. But Perth is very like isolated from the rest of the country. It's wherever you are in the country, it's going to take you a hot minute to get to Perth. It's also like a mining city, so it's just a lot of like really rich people that live there. So like the economy over there is just a step above the rest of us in terms of just how pricey everything is. It wasn't the cheapest. If this was in Sydney or Melbourne, it would have cost me like half the price, maybe even less. So yeah, it is a expensive place. That's why they could afford WWE though, is because they make a lot of money in that state. But never again will I go to Perth unless I have to.
True.
We'll edit that part out in case WWE wants to clip this.
So the press conference happens earlier in the day. What time was your time?
It was noon. It was
okay.
12
So it was
o'clock.
noon time. It lasted about an hour and a half around there. Yeah. The ending. Obviously with Grayson Waller and
the shoeies. Let's go.
Yeah, that seemed like a lot of fun. You could tell Rhea wasn't expecting to do that.
No.
Which was pretty cool. And I like Rhea after she has like her shoe. She looks at the camera and she goes, "These are brand new. These are brand new. I just poured a beer in here." But very, very cool. I thought the press conference was fun. You know, they very similar to the way they did the WrestleMania press conference, where it's not so much a press conference where you're asking questions and things like that. It's really kind of
It was like a hyped up,
it's like a hype slash
like a pep rally
promo.
It was like a UFC style, like conference, like just to say, hey, the event's tomorrow, like sell the final few fights. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what it was like. It was cool though. It was like chill. Is that a weird way to describe it?
No.
Yeah, it was just kind of There wasn't like it wasn't if you missed it, whatever, but it was also cool to be there.
Yeah, that's fair. So the press conference wraps up, and then what is the next step looking for you? Because then I believe that is when you started moving into starting to interview some of the superstars that we've seen the videos of.
Yeah. So basically, just before the press conference, you had to go and check in with the WWE team. You got a little wristband and you got your name checked off. And that gave you like media access and access to sit in the press seats. Then basically what you do is you all scoop up, and we went over to a gate where the WWE PR team met us and then took us into Optus Stadium, took us through a bunch of elevators, and then we got to the pretty high up in the stadium, and they were just like, find a spot, set up, we'll do the rounds, you get your interviews, etc., etc.
Now the interviews, did you get was that the list for everyone, or did you only get to talk to a Okay, so that was the designated.
And you knew this list prior, like they told you.
So I knew the list. So I knew the list prior. Obviously it was subject to change, but the list was Kevin Owens, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Grayson Waller. I obviously didn't get everybody because basically how those press days work is that you just kind of find your spot. And then they start at a section and they keep moving, but like a PR guy will come and go, okay, I'm going to take you and put you over this side of the room. So then these people start getting interviews. So there was people like, I didn't get Kevin Owens, but he was right next to me at one point. And then just before he was get to me, they come in and grab and they take it over, which is fine. I was happy to just be in the room. Like, I was like, oh my God, like just look to my left. And I'm like, there's Becky Lynch. What the hell is going on here? But basically, so I waited probably a good half hour, just like being nervous and like, oh, am I going to get anyone? And then it started to get around and they were like, okay, they're going to make their way down this way. And I was like, oh shit. Oh no.
They're coming my way. What do I do? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Who was the first one? Who was the first person you got to interview?
Yeah. So my first ever WWE interview was Seth freaking Rollins, which is
nice.
Like, what the hell? Like, I had him come over and he was like, hey buddy. And then he shook my hand and I was like, what is going on? Like, internally, I was like I was like, all right, just maintain a level of like chillness and just try to remain calm. Internally, I was like, holy shit. Like, what is going on here? And I just tried to, I don't know. I didn't really go in with a lot. I had a little bit of a base of what I wanted to say, but I was like, my biggest strength is I'm pretty good straight off the cuff. I'm pretty good with being pretty quick-witted. So I was like, I'm just going to go with my gut. Obviously have a backup. All I was cared about was wanted to be really respectful of time. Like, this was my first time doing this. I'm not, you don't
want to be the guy that goes over.
Exactly. And so I just wanted to be respectful of time, trying to keep it to 3-4 minutes. That was my biggest concern. But other than that, I just kind of went with my gut and just tried, I don't know. There's a certain style that a lot of interviewers have when it comes to wrestling. And that's fine. It works. I wanted to try and bring my own little flair while still remaining that kind of, you don't want to cross that line of just, being ridiculous, but trying to give my own little personality and stuff to it. But yeah, Seth Rollins was my first ever interview, which is like, oh my God. And I was like tiny because I'm 5'4", and I was like, holy shit, this man is so huge.
Yeah. And like, obviously the Seth Rollins interview, that one has picked up a little bit. That one has picked up a little traction. What Culture had it, some of it on, no, Cultaholic was it? Which
Cultaholic,
one?
yeah.
Cultaholic, yes. Yeah. They had it on their podcast. At least they spoke about the answer that Seth gave you when you asked him about his knee injury and how that was going and stuff like that, which, you know, obviously I still want to focus on the interviewing session and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like that had
That's
to be
right.
surreal.
Give us all your money, Stock.
we
We
are
had to
sellouts,
pay,
bro.
we had to
Trying
pay
make
for
this a
Josh
damn
Robinson.
living, man. We got to pay for. I mean, we got a superstar amongst us.
Call
right here.
Sports Corners in the house.
We
What's
got
up,
a superstar
Colpito?
in our midst?
So yeah,
but that had to be surreal to see, you know, an outlet like that, you know, pick that up kind of.
Yeah,
out of nowhere,
it was.
You know?
I watch Cultureholic all the time and then news videos and stuff like that. And someone had, I can't remember who it was, someone pointed it out on Twitter to me and I was like, what? Surely not. And then I watched it. I got up to like, you know, when you wake up at like 3 a.m, you got to pee. And I was like, looked at my phone and I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch this now. And I was like, what the hell? Like, obviously even Friday night was wild because I was just like posting all my stuff. I was just trying to get it out there before Chamber, doing what I can. I had my phone to edit on. I was like, oh my God, this is unreal. It's taking me hours to do. But I put it all out there and then Fightful transcribed it and picked it up. And that's when the Becky and the Bianca clips kind of went a little wild because Becky said something about main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania. And I was reading the article just like normally. And then I was like, that sounds oddly familiar. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's my interview. And I was like, this is insane. Oh yeah. I met Ryan. He was doing some stuff
he
with
said
another,
nothing could beat the look on your face all week. I think that's what
I was. So
you could tell.
We were on like opposite sides of the I don't know what to call it. It was just like a sheet, but it had like where all the logos in that were, but it was like
a partition.
A partition.
Yeah, that thing. So then he was directly behind me, and every time I had like a moment I knew they weren't interviewing, I'd just pop my head around and be like, going on, like what? And Ryan was just like looking at me because he could tell I was just like, I don't know, like for some people, I don't mean this is in a disrespectful way because some people are just more comfortable and this is, you know, it's just work and that's fine. But you can tell, you can separate the people in those places that just want to be there and that really want to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just there to work and there because this is what they want to do. For me, it was a childhood dream. Like my mum found a note that I had wrote where I said I wanted to be the man that holds the microphone that interviews wrestlers. And so like that to me is like, I'm living out a dream and dreams are different to everybody and it may not mean a lot to some people, but that was mine. And I'm like, if I die tomorrow, I've lived out a dream that I had since I was a child. And that's pretty cool. Like, but I think the biggest takeaway from the whole experience of doing that was how comfortable I felt in that role. I'm like, now I want to do more of it. And this is like, it's the most comfortable I've ever felt, and the most natural I've ever felt. No matter how much I was shitting my pants, because I was truly so nervous. But like I had Seth, then I had Becky. Becky is an absolute joy of a human being. Like she was having a laugh with us all. She was just like, you know, roaming around because they're just, listen, it'd be very easy for these people to be very cold to all of us. They probably don't want to be doing this. Probably just want to get out there, rest, you know, whatever is very hot. But just how nice everybody was to me was just wild. But Becky was, oh my God, I got to talk to Becky Lynch. Like, and it's not lost on me that pretty much the whole weekend was centered around a lot of women. And as you know, my content has always been predominantly focused on women. That's not lost on me at all. I got to interview a lot of great women, got to see a lot of great women competing. So that to me was extra special just in a personal sense, because I'm like, this is kind of cool that I focus a lot on women. And I'm talking to arguably two of the biggest women stars in the history of professional wrestling with Becky and Bianca. Bianca was the sweetest human being in the world, by the way, this week. And very short, mind you. She was only listed a little bit taller than me, and she was in big heels. I'm like, if you took those heels off, you may be shorter than me, which is wild because I'm 5 foot short.
I would not expect
so
it.
Short. But
I would not
like jacked. She's jacked as all hell. I'm like, this woman can pick me up and throw me across the room if she wanted to. So, yeah, that was a big eye opener. I'm like, everyone is so short. Tiffany Stratton quite short too. I'm like, oh, this is wild.
We are going to talk about the show Chamber too, because my girl.
Yeah, we will. Yeah,
my girl.
Sure. How crazy? I was just going to ask, how crazy was like the editing process of this, right? So you do that Friday, right? And the show is Saturday. So like, and it's kind of time sensitive. I know that's probably not the most glamorous thing to talk about, but like, what were you said you did it with your phone, and
I did it with my phone. I didn't have my laptop or anything with me, so I was on my phone. So the media day finished about let's just call it a gentleman's 3:30. So we did that. Got back from up the stadium, back to the hotel. I hadn't had anything to eat. I was severely dehydrated because it was so hot. Nice. So I had some food. And then I just had my headphones on and was like, for the next few hours, I'm just going to sit here and cut this up and edit it and get it out. So from about, let's just say 5 o'clock, I didn't have everything uploaded to about 9. So it was about 4 hours of just like cutting this up, trying to edit you're on your phone, so you can only do so much. And I was just trying to get them out and then figure it out from there, almost with Zach and that, just be like, just clean this up, do some thumbnails. I'm so sorry. I'm just on my phone, but I just need to get this out before Chamber. And then, yeah, it just kind of was like my social media was just like, it was insane. I can't really, I'm trying not to sound braggy or cocky. It really, you know me, I genuinely am grateful for everything, but it was so overwhelming. I'm like, I've got Sean Ross Sapp talking to me. I've got Tom Campbell from Cultaholic in my DMs. I've got all of these people just being like, you're doing like, because my biggest fear was like, I understand my personality. It's not necessarily for everybody. I can be a lot. My interview style is also not the same as even Spencer or Zach from Love Wrestling. Like it's different from everybody. And I knew that. And I was going to be like, no, I'm not going to be formulated on how everybody else does it just because that's the right way to do it. I was like, I'm getting my shot. I'm going to do it. Yeah, and like I'm also going to put my own little flair on this, not ask the normal questions that are going to be asked. I just wanted to do something different. I didn't know how that was going to be received. This could be my one and only chance, and I was like, this might not be for everybody. A place like Fightful might not want to recognize this because it's not like the standard formula, or other places, et cetera, et cetera. But I had, for the most part, nothing but love and support from a lot of people. Not only I understand it from you guys and the people that I talk to all the time. I know you're always going to kind of sing my praises, and trust me, it's not that's like the best feeling in the world. But it was like the people that don't really interact with me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't have, there's no reason for them to say that. They're not protecting a friendship or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're just saying this because they're going out of the way. Like Tom Campbell from Cultaholic saying like, you did a really good job. Like coming from him, who's talked to a lot of people within the world of sports and wrestling and whatever. That's kind of insane. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to say that. They said that. Like even Sean just saying great work is like, well, that's coming from Sean Ross Sapp. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's,
big time.
That's wild. Just, a lot of people that didn't need to go out of their way to say something, said something. And my shit went semi-viral, which is even weirder. It's like, this is insane. Like that Rhea Ripley clip. I didn't get a chance to interview Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask, because that was going to be my next question, because Ophelia said something too, but I was going to ask you, can you explain, I know you say it in the video, but can you explain to people what you gave her and that kind of moment you had with Rhea Ripley? Because that clip did go pretty viral there for you, and like the significance of what you gave her and what it stood for and things like that. Can you talk a little bit more in depth about that?
Yeah, so I'm from Adelaide. Rhea Ripley's from Adelaide. There's always when there's hometown pride, you're just like, oh, this is pretty cool. Obviously, I would have loved to interview Rhea. She nearly got to me, and then they just took her to other places. And then PR were just snatching people like, they got to go, and whatever. But as she was kind of going out, I'm like, I'm going to try and give her this beanie because it's a little slice of home. It's for the Adelaide Crows. She's an Adelaide Crows supporter. She said it in different things. Her dad's a massive fan of the Adelaide Crows. I was like, I want to give this little slice of home because I think it's just, from my understanding, I was the only person in the media room from Adelaide. There might have been a couple more. But just to try and be a little bit more personal, she was like, oh my God, even after the cameras were rolling, she was like, this is insane. She's like, let me rip it out of the bag. Let's get a photo with it. And she was like, this is so cool. I'm going to take this with me and kind of cherish this. So that Crom beanie goes to, they're sold. I think the Crowjet have raised like $30,000 for domestic violence in Adelaide.
Nice. Very good.
So all of the sales from that beanie, and I kind of explained that to her, and she was like, this is so cool. And she was just like, this is a slice of Adelaide that I can take home with me, because she doesn't get to go home very often. So which was cool. And I got a message from someone that stayed a little later at the media day that said that she was explaining it to Bianca Belair. Yeah, right, right there,
awesome.
Ryan. In the chat, you can, if you want to put that up on the screen.
Oh yeah, I got it. Oh, JPG's got it.
She was explaining to Bianca what the beanie was too, which is pretty neat. Like, just to be like, I gave her that beanie.
And she's gonna remember that because it's not
up.
like your run of the mill, like, who do you want to wrestle at Mania?
Yeah, that's not something that happens
awesome,
every time
dude.
she goes to one of these.
That's
you know?
so
So
cool.
that's gonna be something she remembers. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
And that kind of blew up on TikTok and on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is so incredibly insane to me. And then I had a lot of people, which is I guess what separates like you guys from just people just saying this to me is like a lot of people were like, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing this guy. And I'm like, that's cool. And I'm really grateful for that. But like, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been putting a lot of time, effort, money into content to get nothing in return. Nothing at all. And that every content creator that creates in this space, or really any space of content, knows that feeling and knows how often you just go, what's the point of streaming tonight? Because no one's going to watch. I'm streaming to myself. I'm streaming to 2 people. To get that kind of recognition for something that you want to do full time, that even if it never happens again, like, that's pretty cool that for those few days, my shit was popping off. And I'm not doing this for exposure. But when you are in content, that's all you want. You want everyone to see what you're doing, and you want people to understand what you offer. Like, again, I'm trying to say it from a humbling kind of feeling, but
I'm not going to speak for you, right? But like, when you do stuff like this, whether it is the video streaming on Twitch or these type of shows, like, we do it because we love it. But I'm not going to say everyone, but I think I know you two very well. I consider you two to be my 2 best friends in this space. We talk off camera. We would love to get fame. We would love to make this be our thing. You know what I mean? Like, we love doing it. It's fun. We do it because we love it. And I think that's what makes us have a good following and people that like watching us and stuff like that. But like, I've had talks off air, like, we would love this to be our jobs. Like, we would love this to be it for us. And like, when you hear stuff like that, your stuff's popping off on social media, it changes your perspective a little bit. Or it says, hey, maybe this is all this work I have been doing. Maybe, like, maybe this is could happen. It makes you believe more, as oddly as that sounds.
For me, it was like, I didn't get nearly as much as you, but when I did the Fastlane presser, and like, I had like a handful, maybe 20 people going, is that PLUGGO at Fastlane? Good job, dude. Way to go. And I was just like, what? Like, that's crazy to me. But yeah, it's awesome. And the reason people resonated with it as well as they did, Josh, and I'm not speaking for, I hope I'm not speaking for, but it's because you did your thing and you did what we know you love it. And we know how good you are. And now 110,000 people know, dude, this Josh Robinson guy's awesome. And that's so cool for you. And like, we're so stoked, man. Like, it's badass, bro. I know it's humbling because I saw your TikTok, and that's where my next question was kind of going to go with. It was like, before we actually talk about the chamber itself, was like, that next day when you're finally home after things is just weird. You're like, I was talking to Rhea Ripley. Yes. Like, for me, it was like, I was talking to John Cena at LA Knight and hanging out with Byron Saxton. And now I'm home, like at work doing
the first thing. So it's so weird to me because I was like, I got home on some ungodly hour on Monday morning, like 2 a.m. or something, because I was just like, I just need to be in my own bed here. So I got home. The first thing I did when I woke up on Monday morning was clean cat vomit out of the out of the carpet. And I'm like, that moment there when I was cleaning it up, and I'm like, 3 days ago I was interviewing Becky Lynch. And now I'm cleaning up cat vomit in my 2-bedroom unit that I live in.
For the love of the game, baby.
Fucking barely afford. You know what I mean? Like, it's so unreal. Like, it just put thing. And then I just went and did my grocery shopping. And I'm like, I live in a town of 8,000 people, if that. I'm like, this is insane to me that this has happened. And so many people in this small little town, because, it's everyone knows everyone. Like, I was getting comments from people that I don't talk to, like, 40-year-old Carol being like, whoa, you did something cool on the weekend. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Barb, for that. Like, what the hell? Like, this is so. It was just very. It was just a very. It's just a very surreal experience that I dreamed of since I was a little kid, and it was everything I wanted and more. And it was just like, I've never felt something so like resonated with me. I'm just like, I would love to do this all the time. My location hinders me a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, press day was the 2 days were very different from one another. Like press day was a little bit more of like, I've worked really hard to get to the spot I'm at. Trying to understand that, but also being like, I'm lucky. I'm very blessed to be in the spot that I'm in right now, which is why, you know, Spencer and Zach, bless their cotton socks. Like, I can't thank them enough for, I understand what people say. And they're like, you got to, I put in a lot of work, but they gave me that little push that I needed. And they kind of had the right connections to put me in a space like that. Like, I wouldn't be in that space without those two. We had, you know, messages like long between Spencer, Zach, and I, like, and this isn't discrediting anyone else on Love Wrestling, you two included, but like Spencer, Zach, and I were the first 3 on this platform. Like, I was the first person asked by Spencer and Zach to be a part of this. They were just like, and it wasn't like you're doing this. They were like, we don't care what you do, just do it, because we know that we just want you here. Like, that means a lot to me. Like, where that I'll always have a very different connection with those two than I do with used to. And that's not, I'm not saying it's on levels. I'm just saying it's just different. Like, it's just different because like that made me feel a certain way because I was like, holy crap. And then, you know, things escalate from there. But we had messages like very long of just being like, I can't believe this is actually real. Like, why me? There is that little bit of imposter syndrome of like, so many more people do this better than me. Like, why am I in this spot? But then also being like, I worked pretty damn hard to get in that spot.
But that's why.
It's I know, but it's still weird to me because I'm always going to be. I don't care if for some reason tomorrow I woke up and I had 1 million followers. To me, I'm still a fan that loves doing this, and I'm like, I just like wrestling. Like, I just like watching wrestling, and I'm just, you know, I'm always going to be just like, what is going on? But I will say one more thing about the press day. Like I was saying, like the press day and chamber were so different. Press day was like the work day. It wasn't, I don't think it was my best interview. I think my best interview was Bianca. I think that was the most natural I felt in an interview. My favorite interview personally was Naya. She was so engaging and so lovely, and she made a lot of eye contact, which I know is weird, but like she was I think I could have talked to Naya about anything and she would have been down.
You guys got a sitcom.
Talk about. Yeah, we got a sitcom. Naya was absolutely lovely.
Yeah. I went to a WWE experience on a WrestleMania that I traveled to, and this was when she was in NXT, and she was kind of just walking around, and I said hello to her, and she chatted with me and my buddy for like 5 minutes out of nowhere. And then she left, and we were just like, she was very nice. Like that, she was very, very nice.
She was
such a Jack Outcast. Hi, new friend in the chat.
And then
Jack follows my stuff. Jack's great.
We like Jack.
Naya was great though. Naya was just a lovely interaction that she walked off and I felt very good about. But they all were. There was no, I didn't get to, like I didn't get to view Grayson. Grayson did interact with us. We had a brief interaction with Grayson. He was just like on another level. He was just like, this is insane. Like, he was having a great old time. He was kind of a little bit in character too. So his interviews were fun to listen to. But I interacted with Kevin very briefly because he couldn't say someone's podcast name who was right next to me. And he like looked over and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Becky was the same though, but the PR guys were so like busy with other people. There was like a setup next to me, but someone had gone to get water or gone to the bathroom or something. And the camera was on and she just walked right up to the camera and she's like, who's this I'm talking to? Like, she was just fun. Like, I just know like how easy for them it would be to be so rude because they don't want to be here. They could just be like, move on. But they were all having a great time, which is cool. I also, in press day, I should probably mention too, I got to work with 2K a lot. Probably seen a bunch of my stuff today with 2K. The marketing manager for Australia kind of hit me up the day before and was like, I got media access. I don't really know what I'm doing. Can I can you kind of help me out? I was like, no problemo. So a lot of stuff with 2K. That relationship was kind of grown a little bit from that experience and talking with him and stuff like that. So, you know, that's wild to me as well, because the two things I probably love most in this world, my first interaction with wrestling, I don't think I've ever told anyone this. My first interaction with wrestling was actually through the wrestling video game. So I played a wrestling video game before I ever watched wrestling. WWF Warzone on the PlayStation 1. Let's go. Terrible game. But
Nice.
I played it though.
game.
I owned it. I played the shit out of it.
Oh, I played that before I even watched wrestling. So like to be working with the wrestling video game company that produce official WWE games is also quite a wild experience. And I don't take anything for granted because I know tomorrow it could be gone. So that's why I'm trying to like, I tried to have a bunch of moments over the weekend where it's just like, this might never happen again. Just like scan the room and just like embedded in my brain. But yeah, press day was wild. It was such, I mean this in a good way, but it was such a relief when it was over because the pressure was gone. I could just go, okay, now it's time to have some fun in Perth. Like, let's actually see Perth and like get ready for Chamber. Like that started to hit in of like, I'm going to a premium live event tomorrow. Like that matters. You know what I mean? Like I went to Super Showdown, but it was just different.
Yeah, and you're there. You got good seats. I saw they
that was also a wild experience too because I woke up on Saturday. We had seats that were okay, and then I woke up on Saturday and maybe PR were like, "Want a couple of floor tickets?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Oh yeah, oh yes, please.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Are you sure you emailed the right person?
Yeah. That okay. So you know, and I don't want this to turn into us because it sounds braggy, but like. I remember, you know, having the opportunity to go cover a SmackDown, and I went to cover a SmackDown, and the same thing happened. They hadn't sent me my seats yet, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be pushy and ask. This is all new to me. I don't want to seem like a dickhead, and then I never get this opportunity ever again because I was pushy, but they haven't sent me my tickets yet. The show starts in an hour, blah, blah. And then I'm getting the guy, you know, this person that we talked to is sent like he's emailing me back and forth. And I'm like, first of all, the fact that I'm talking to somebody in WWE like is insane to me in general. Right. And then he's like, oh, did they send you the things yet? I'm like, no. And he goes, okay, I'm going to text them to you. And he texts them to me. And that's even, I'm like, okay, even more surreal. And then they ended up being floor seats. And I'm like, I'm sitting there going, I don't belong here. Like, I just don't belong here. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's when it was surreal for me, where I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I feel important, even though I know I'm not important. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very
I felt too. Not only that, so Saturday, we kind of went over to Optus Stadium early because we just kind of wanted to look at merch stands and just kind of scan the venue and just kind of have a little bit of a good time and just kind of breathe. It was humid as all hell. It was raining on Saturday. It was not a good time weather-wise in Perth. But that's what you get when you come here in the like hottest part of summer for us. So I don't understand. But anyway, so scanning the thing. And then that's when I started to meet a lot of people just from Twitter. And I'm just like, I talk to you all the time. You watch my streams. Like some people coming up to me like, you Josh? And I'm like, yeah. 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 They're like, oh my God, I watch you on Twitch. And I'm like, what? People watch me on Twitch. I'm like, this is insane. And just taking there was a lot of photos. Like I met like a bunch of people. That was a really cool experience. And then, then it was just like, as I got into Optus Stadium, we sat down. So when I just kind of looked around and I was like, oh my God, I'm at a pay-per-view a month out from WrestleMania. And like, it feels big. And then the stadium started to fill up and fill up and fill up. And I'm like, oh, there's 50,000 people in here. That's pretty incredible. Like that's when it started to like, be like, all right, let's have some fun here. A lot of the media guys that I met the day prior were kind of in that little section. So it was cool to link up with them and talk to them again and be like, how's your stuff doing? Mine's kind of getting picked up by Fightful. Like, what is going on? Like, I don't really understand what's happening and stuff like that. So, and then we got to see a lot of Australians wrestle, which is really cool. Like, that kickoff match was so fun to hear Indy get it was just a different pop than Rhea's and Grayson's. It was a little bit more like, yay, like Indy's getting an opportunity, and we like to see that. Like, that's what it felt like. And the crowd was just, we were hot all night. Like, it was It was fun. WWE are running more international shows now. I feel like no offense to you guys in the States, but you guys get Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views every few months. We get it once every 6 years, if that. So like it's just hotter when WWE goes to places they don't often travel to. Like even if we got once a year, that's once a year that we're getting this stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just we don't get it very often. We were all very happy to be there. It was a lot of fun. And then, of course, I'm sure we're going to run down the show, but the chamber was fun too. To see an elimination chamber, I was like, well, that's one off the list. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
For sure. And like, the shows, they did have the tag team championship match, which was cool that Indy got on the card, and the match was good. But the Kabuki Warriors obviously retained, and then the show starts. The main card starts with the women's elimination chamber match, which I thought this match was great.
Delicious.
It was so good.
What time is it? Oh, that's right. It's Tiffy time, baby.
It's Tiffy time. And
oh,
we mentioned her a little
people, my
earlier.
guy. Like, what the hell? Like,
right?
Tiffany Stratton was like the most over person of that whole show. And I was like, what?
Listen, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Tiffy's been my girl for a long time over here. For a long time. Josh knows. On all his streams, I'm always like, yo, Tiffany Stratton's a real one. She's real.
It's Tiffy time.
I've been saying
her
it
music
for a long
was perfect
time.
for it. She just got so over. Anyone she interacted with was getting booed. It was surreal. We were in a very I was in a very hot section in the crowd too, which was fun. They were very hyped to be there, and I was like, oh, I'm feeding off the energy and stuff like this, which is really cool.
What kind of wrestling goer are you? Are you like, I'm just gonna sit there, I'm in the media, I gotta be cool, or you go along with everything? Are you just I was going nuts when I went.
I'm basically standing on my seat, like throwing ass. Like I'm having a good time.
Okay.
When I'm at a show, like there's no like, oh no, like I could be the biggest media person in the world and I'd still do that because I don't care. And some people find it weird that you're like, oh, you're openly like fanboying and being like, oh, you want to do this forever. I'm like, that's just me though. Like I'm always going to be. I don't care if I did every single media thing for the rest of the time in WWE that was alive. Like I would still be like, this is wild. Like a lot of people will never get to do this. Like I'm a fan of wrestling. Like I just want to have a good time. Plus, I don't know when these idiots are coming back. I'm going to enjoy this while I can. So that was it was cool for that to be in that kind of scenario. Yeah, I'm having a good time. It also wasn't another thing that wasn't lost on me. I was like, I seen more women's matches than men's matches. So I was pretty happy.
Yeah, sure did.
Like women main evented that show was based around Rhea. And to be a person from Adelaide, seeing a person from Adelaide main event a 50,000 plus people stadium and have a show, let's just call it a spade. The show was based around her.
Oh, for sure.
Like that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And I you mentioned your favorite interview you did was with Nia. And I know Josh and I have talked about it on his streams. And I know this was the main event, so we're skipping around a little bit here, but she has been so good since she has been back. Like, so good. And so it's good. Honestly, like, considering, and don't get me wrong, I think she got hated on, sometimes rightfully so, but she got hated on a ton by almost everybody, it felt like. And she went away. But ever since she's been back, she has been excellent on the mic. She's been excellent in the ring. The way they've booked her, the way they presented her, she has been really essential to this section of Rhea as we were building to Rhea getting to Becky Lynch winning the chamber. And now we have this massive Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch match coming at Mania.
Nia's been
essential.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yes. And not only, like, a lot of people clamor, oh God, all I want her to do is get better. Stop hurting people. Stop doing this. Put on good matches. She's done all of it. Still, people are going to complain, but she's done all of it and then some. I actually told her that. I think I left it in the interview. Like I said, you've been killing it, and I feel like she knows that she's been killing it, not in a cocky way, but I feel like she's like, no, I put in the work to get better and to get to a spot where she probably always knew that she could be. A little Nia Jax tea. I guess I can give you guys because it wasn't in the interview. She shouted out that she loved the name Love Wrestling.
Yes.
She said,
Nice.
I love that. She said, I love celebrating all of that. So it was good. She also told me she liked my hair. So suck on that.
Heck yeah.
So
I think
was
she got the bad rap a little bit. Like I saw a lot of the people
100%.
being like,
Yeah.
this match wasn't great. It wasn't the best Nia Rhea match probably they could have put on, but I think it was just a lot of people just be like, it's Nia Jax, so we're not gonna.
I think it was more.
I thought it was
I think it was fine. I think it was
good.
fine. I don't think
I thought
it was
fun. The crowd were very into it. I think it served a purpose of like, let's
Yeah.
just try to get as much love and support we can for Rhea. So when she wins, it's a big deal. Like, I thought it was cool. Also, that spot where she jumped off that chair could have went horribly wrong, and it didn't.
Yep.
So because I was worried, I was like, that's gonna move or it's gonna buckle, and this is gonna be terrible. But it didn't. It worked.
Yeah,
She
I
did a
thought
big
it was
suplex
great. I
off
thought
the
it was fine.
I thought it was a fun main event to like wrap up the night. Like a lot of people were complaining, where's Roman? Where's Rock? Bro, I could have seen one person and I would have been like, this is the greatest night of my life. Like, I don't care. And it was a fun show. Like people were complaining on they only seen this much wrestling. Girl, do you not understand? We don't get segments where people talk in promos. I needed that slice of WWE in that show because we don't get Raw and SmackDown every week like you guys do. You take it for, not you, just like in general, taking it for granted. Like you get to see promos all the time. We don't. Like it was great that we had a Grayson Waller effect. Would have been, that was served its purpose much more than if Cody Rhodes wrestled Grayson Waller. No offense. Like
for sure.
You know?
Ryan saying Nia was the perfect opponent, could lose and still look strong. Her story ties in with Rhea and Becky, so there's a good tie-in post-show, if that makes sense. 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I thought
Becky's about to get a back on Nia on the road to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Exactly. Like it all ties in. It all makes sense.
Nia is that kind of, because Nia can lose next week to Becky, and then the very next week she can absolutely destroy someone and she's back.
Yeah,
Nia is that
100%.
kind of character. It's just, yeah, I have nothing but praise for Nia, especially after meeting her and just how great she was. The Australian Nia Jax, I should say, got a lot of she got a lot of angry. She was born in Sydney. She's Australian born. 2 Australian women just main evented that show. But that, yeah, to run through kind of quickly everything, like the women's chamber was a lot of fun. I got to see fun entrances. Tiffany Stratton was super duper over. Becky was there was a lot of fake outrage for Becky Lynch winning. I was like, no one in that stadium gave a shit, mate. She was having a good old, she was over as Rover. So that was a lot of fun. Grayson Waller effect was a lot of fun. That tag match was really fun too.
Very good.
I was kind of like, okay, this is my match where I can kind of like check on things, check my phone. Then I kept looking up and I'm like, I gotta put my phone down. This is a Dom. Yeah, also, anyone that says Dom Heat is piped in, no, it's not. Oh my god, that was deafening. Like it was deafening in there. I was like, I've never felt something so. It was an open air stadium, like it was an open dome. If there was a roof on that, I physically thought the walls would have shaken. Like shook. Yeah. That's how loud it was. Like it was deafening. They had to cut the feed for a long time because everyone was flipping me off. They were like, "Dom is a wanker." Chance to
they
him.
were going hard.
Yeah, they were going hard on Dom.
Dom hate is like
it's real.
I just can't believe it. I can't believe the only thing that the only couple of things that was like on the level of loudness was Rhea winning. More so than her entrance, because her entrance is kind of hard with the way that her entrance hits. It's kind of, the pop was loud, but it was just overshadowed by her music when she won. And I hate being the obvious person in the room, but Cody is so ridiculously over. It's wild. Yeah, it is wild. Maybe Randy is also in that kind of conversation as well. It was cool seeing Randy. I'd never seen Randy Orton wrestle. Like that's kind of wild to me.
That's awesome. And, the men's chamber match was very good too. I particularly loved the way it ended.
Yeah, I love the way it ended as well. Logan got some heat.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing with the men's chamber match. They were having problems with the screen in the arena, in the stadium, for a lot of that match. We kept booing. Shaylee, my sister, kept messaging me. She's like, why are you guys booing this random spot in this match? I'm like, they keep turning on and off the screen. And then they had the Slim Jim logo. Like the countdown was like counting down when it wasn't meant to
It
be.
was
And like,
that happened on the feed too. It was like it was a mess.
so annoying, and they kept switching it off and then switching it back on. So for a little part of that match, we're all just like, "Hey, get your crap together. We're trying to watch this." Like, so, yeah, that kind of took away from a little bit in that match. But the men's chamber was fun too. Logan where I was seated, his pod was kind of like diagonally in front. So like I was a little bit back, but like he was like there. So I seen him doing all the drawings, and he drew like Kevin Owens because he's fat. Because Kevin Owens is fat, guys. So it was funny. Like Logan's doing. I hate saying this about Logan Paul.
He's great. He's great.
He's just fit like a glove with wrestling.
Did you see the social media video that they released today that said he like faked a serious injury for a few minutes before he hit Orton with the like he just gets it, man. It is what it is.
Yeah,
it is. Like I get, and I'm on the side of people that are like, I don't like saying it, but the dude is excellent. He's excellent, and he's gonna have a big time match at WrestleMania, and he deserves it because he's amazing. He's very, very good at it.
He's very good. Him and Randy will hump hard too. Oh my God.
Do you think you think that's going to be the one-on-one match? You think?
Yeah, I think
Orton
so.
and Logan.
I think so. It may end up being with Owens as well, but I think the one-on-one, Randy will make him look like a absolute just cockhead, and I mean that in the best way possible. It was just that now that I actually think about it, the Logan Paul heat was loud. His heat at the press conference too was unreal. He come out and it was just like a different reaction. How weird was it for you guys to hear Grayson Waller get cheered?
It was weird. And then when he did the spot on the Waller effect where he didn't get involved and he just let Theory take a beating, I was like, they love him. They would not boo him if he started, going in.
Seth was really over too, by the way. Like Seth's reaction was really, that whole segment was just a lot of fun. I'm glad I got a talking segment because we don't, like I said, we don't get that.
Yeah, and I mean, and Cody challenged The Rock.
Yeah, exactly. Like that happened too. It was cool to see Triple H. Also, I should, at the press conference, it was so hot, and we were all chanting, "We want sunscreen." Triple H brought out sunscreen before the press conference and threw it into the crowd.
Started throwing it.
Yeah, because he had like a thing of sunscreen. Because I was burnt to a crisp. Like I was cooking in that. Everyone was. But amazing. Yeah, he could come out with sunscreen and threw it. But it was cool to see Triple H just like we all sang his music. I don't know if they picked that up on the feed. Like we're all singing his music. Yeah, it was just. I wish that stadium was closed. I wish we had like a closed stadium because the sound would have traveled a little bit better. But to be in an open air stadium and still be that loud, it's pretty neat. By the way, Optus Stadium is a beautiful facility. Oh my Lord. It is so modern and clean. Is that a weird way to describe it? But it is. It's very clean. No. It's big and it's lots of screens everywhere. And it's a beautiful, beautiful stadium.
Love it. Love it. I mean, you had one hell of a weekend in Perth. As we got you for the last couple minutes here, I know you talked about your experiences throughout, but just a final, a sum of the weekend and just obviously, what's coming up for you, where people can find you, things like that. But just kind of like it's probably hard to say in a few minutes, but a final summary of just what that whole experience was last weekend for you.
It was overwhelming, very emotional. Like Monday I got home and I was just like, did that shit. Like I did that. That's pretty cool. A lot of support from everybody. Like if I by any chance didn't reply to you or didn't, interact with your comment or something like that, I'm so sorry. There was a lot. There was a lot of comments and I was trying my hardest to thank everybody. Like I was doing my absolute best, but for anyone that sent me because I woke up to 30 DMs on Saturday morning. For anyone that sent me a DM, that sent me just an encouragement, just say you did a good job, that liked it, shared it, all of that kind of stuff. Thank you very much, because that kind of stuff I take note of who celebrates your wins and stuff like that. And a lot of people celebrated my wins, and again, imposter syndrome come over, like, I don't really deserve all this kind of stuff, but et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it's a normal.
I'll
way to
say
think
it,
something.
Josh. You absolutely did deserve it. You worked harder, if not as hard as anybody here, especially in Love Wrestling or in just content creation across the board. So, dude, so stoked for you, man. You did deserve it. You absolutely killed it. You're not going to say it, but I sure as hell am, brother.
Look,
I'm so proud to even know you.
Stop. It's like, so it's hard to like take. I find it hard to take. I'm like, oh, please, I can't take it.
All right, fine. You sucked. It was awful.
Yeah, that's better. There we go. The truth comes out.
One and done.
Yeah, never again.
Not gonna happen.
I think for me,
honestly,
like,
yeah,
I think for me, I think the best feeling that I had is that for me, I know that I did it. I was happy with how I did. Like, I made sure I made most of the opportunity and stuff like that. To see it get the recognition that it did, I mean, still is like, hell, like, I'm getting posted on WWE Games official Instagram today. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Just to see it still get a lot of love. And I guess I can say this publicly because he said it publicly, but like, I'm in talks to go on the Cultaholic podcast in a few weeks with Tom. Like, that's like insane. Like, me of all people, like, I like, what the hell? Like, what the hell do I have to say? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I just thought a lot of times in the way that I did content and the way that I kind of got opportunities, I was like, this is the most it's ever going to be. And then it just keeps expanding. And it's just like, I put out a tweet and a lot of people probably laughed at it, but I put out a tweet at the very beginning of the year that said, by the end of the year, I want to be doing content creation full time as my job. And like, now more than ever, that is not so unattainable. Like, I'm working towards that. I want to be doing that. I don't feel as more comfortable and natural in anything that I do except for this. So like, I'd like to do that. Also, I think though, one last thing I'll say, when people on your Facebook friends care about what you do, it's a different feeling. Because it's like it's people you went to school with. It's people that you met in the street. You know what I mean? Like, when people are giving you love on there, that's when I'm like, this must be reaching a lot more people than I'm actually anticipating. Also, shout out to my wonderful mother. She put out a beautiful little thing that I was like, she was like, you've come a long way since like wrestling on your trampoline with a giant teddy bear. I'm like, yeah, I have, Mum. Thanks for that. And I was also getting a lot of text message from her. She watched the press conference. She knows nothing about wrestling. She doesn't give two shits about wrestling, but she was like, I was watching you. I kept seeing you on the press conference and I watched all your interviews. And now my mum won't stop coming up to me and going, it's Tiffy time. I'm like, for fuck's sake, what is this? It's just like, amazing. She always says it. She's like, Josh, what time it is? I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, it's Tiffy time. And I'm like, Mom, God, this is wild. But yeah, so I don't really, listen, I'm just, incredibly grateful for the experience. It was wonderful. That doesn't really sum it up well.
And I you know me, we've chatted a lot. I echo PLUGGO sentiments. Definitely well deserved, and you crushed it. You know, you crushed it. Let the people know where they can find you, what you got coming up. I know you and I will have a sim on the new WWE 2K24 in a few weeks before WrestleMania and such. But let the people know where they can find you, where they can see the stuff from Perth last week if they haven't already, and what you got coming up here before we get you out of here.
Yeah, so you can see it right here on this very channel on Love Wrestling. Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Bianca Belair, and Seth Rollins, all available for you. Clearly speaking out of turn here, but I'm pretty certain over the next day or two, you'll see the vlog from Perth, and it kind of encapsulates everything in that sphere. I've watched it. It's very good. One of your guests actually created it today. He put it all together. It was wonderful. It made me cry because I was like, so go and check out that whenever it's here. But yeah, all on Love Wrestling. You can follow me right there, wherever, pretty much across the board. I guess I can say this now as a brag. You can see me on WWE Games official Instagram and the 2K and pages. So there's that too, which is insane. Pretty much that's it. Follow me on Twitch, same name as everywhere. I'll be back on Twitch next week for WWE 2K24. I'm taking a much needed break for the rest of the week. But I'll be back on 2K24 next week because that all starts up, and then gearing up for all the other stuff and podcasts and stuff, and I don't know, with JPJ, et cetera, et cetera.
Hell yeah. Love it, man. Love everything that happened to you last weekend. You know we both love you to pieces here. Hopefully we can get you back soon, chatting some wrestling on here. But thanks for hopping on. We appreciate the time, and we'll be chatting with you soon, Josh. Appreciate you.
No worries. Love you guys. All right.
Bye. Later, my friend. Peace. All right, Josh Robinson. Go give him a follow. Go do that. He's gonna blow up. He's gonna be a massive individual. I think he's gonna reach that goal. But we got two great individuals that we are gonna bring right on here without any further
because we just keep it going.
That's what we do.
We get one big star, and then we're gonna give you two big stars. And all I gotta say is, screw your budget, Spencer Love.
There it is. There it is. We got our friends Drew Nicholas and Mike from Indeed. We are going to be talking some AEW Revolution, diving in for a little preview of the card. First and foremost, gentlemen, Drew, I'll start with you. It's been a few weeks since I've seen you on screen. You were getting over a pretty bad, maybe still getting over.
It's still here.
Okay. But, how you doing? How are you doing today? How you feeling? Feeling a little better, I hope, at least.
A little better. A little.
All right. A little's better than not,
Yeah. I'd like to be fully better. That'd be
true. It's true.
But
I'm firmly better.
Firmly better. Yeah.
That's a good way to do that. I see what you did.
First of all, I just want to say, love being part of a train. So really, really glad to have just hopped off with someone and you hopped right on me. So that's awesome.
That's what we do here between two beards. I'm aboard the Who Wants a Beard ride.
You said two great guys, and it's like very much 1.5. Like I'm
don't. Oh, we're definitely the half. What are you talking about?
Drew, yes. Me, like half. Really half.
Oh, you haven't been on in a while either. Mike, how are you? It's been a long time since we've had you on. I think it was for one of these AEW previews, if I'm not mistaken.
It was probably like Full Gear Wrestle Dream or something like that. I'm good. I'm like procrastinating super bad today. I'm supposed to, in less than 12 hours, I'll be on a train to Montreal. To Ottawa.
IWS, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to IWS this weekend. I'm gonna go meet Zach, hang out with Lawrence.
Yeah, very cool.
Which we'll be previewing the IWS show Saturday night, 6 p.m. on this very channel on 4 Exposure.
Yeah? Maybe I'll call in from L'Olympia.
There you go.
That'll be awesome.
Maybe I'll call in from L'Olympia. Send me a text and remind me. I
will.
I do things that damage my memory.
No.
We got Scott in the chat saying Mike and Drew, two of my favorites as well. Two of ours.
Wow, Scott
as well.
Scott is wonderful.
Just like Sheamus, do banger after banger after banger. That's what we do on Beards. We don't stop.
Banging after banging.
Banging after banging.
There it is. Drew's feeling it.
We're banging and slanging, baby.
Someone spit. Yeah. Drew's.
Are we all the banging bros?
Yeah, tonight we're the Banging Bros. I'm in.
R.I.P. to the greatest tag team name.
Honestly, Bangin' Matthews, like the Bang Bros.
Yeah,
the indie tag team. They were, for me. That's what it was for me. I'm sad that they got actual letters.
Yeah, I joked that every week on the indies they should come out with a different name in that space. Just collecting like cease and desist letters from the porn community.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But get booked for one shot with the MILF Hunters.
Yeah, just keep on coming out until
the hub bros.
Why did the show just randomly get horny when I got here?
I don't know.
Yo, Drew, you bring it out as Josh.
You brought the train comment, and then it just went. That was it.
Not that I would ever make my way onto any of those websites. No. Not that I would ever know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely not. No. We're distinguished gentlemen here.
Distinguished,
right? Hey, in the interest of multitasking, would you guys mind if I painted my nails while I do this podcast?
You can do whatever you want. I am
ahead.
pro whatever.
We're pro whatever.
Josh and the
Thank
chat
you.
just saying.
I don't want to seem distracted, but if you see me looking down, I'm just like,
It's okay.
My name says it all. I still haven't packed.
Hasn't packed. And you leave tomorrow?
I have to be out of my house I'm leaving my front door in 11 hours.
Yeah.
13 hours. 13 hours. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, we got plenty of time now.
There you go.
But there you go. We got
hours.
Sting's last match, AEW Revolution Sunday. I almost said Saturday. I'm so used to Saturday pay-per-views. Sunday night in Greensboro. Let's break this baby down.
Yeah, let's break it down. We have 8 matches as of this moment.
Yeah, which will probably
on this card.
6 more this weekend.
You never know. We do have a Rampage tomorrow night. We do have a Collision on Saturday, so more could be added. But right now, actually, no. According to Wikipedia, I see 9. We have 9 matches on this card. I'm just gonna roll with it from the bottom to the top here.
Does this include some kind of 0 hour yet?
It does not say yet what matches are on 0 hour or if there will be. I assume there will be. They usually do at least a couple on there. Those maybe will get added on to, in one of the shows this weekend. But we got the 9 matches. We were supposed to have, what was it called? The something meet?
The meat madness match.
Yeah, that's not happening anymore.
Now it's an all-star scramble.
Now it's an all-star scramble match. According to Wikipedia, the all-star. We'll start with this. The all-star scramble match. It has Chris Jericho. It has Wardlow. It has Powerhouse Hobbs. It has Lance Archer. It has Hook, Brian Cage, Dante Martin, and Magnus, who I believe is from the CMLL. So those are the guys in the all-star scramble match. I love a scramble match. Ophelia, I am with you there. I feel like AEW has been doing a real good job with the women's division lately. I would like to see more than one match. I'm hoping.
Did you say Chris Jericho is in this match?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Chris Jericho's in the scramble match.
Which
go ahead, Drew. Go.
That's why we're doing it first. We're getting
Go King. Let's hear it.
I ranted about this last night already, but I really just want to reiterate. I am so bored with Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah.
I just don't care anymore about Chris Jericho. I'm just ready for him to go away for maybe ever at this point.
Yeah.
I don't need. I was happy as hell that they didn't do the Judas music last night.
Yeah, they did the Lionheart. They did the throwback to the Lionheart.
I will mute whenever I hear that now. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't want to listen. It was fun.
Look, I'm a Judas muter. I'm right here with you.
It was fun in the beginning. I've done the Judas quite a number of times at a Grand Slam and a UBS Arena show and Prudential Center and whatever, but I am done with the Judas. I am ready to move on.
Yeah.
Please help me move on.
Yeah.
And let's.
I agree.
It doesn't have to retire, but just go backstage and do backstage things instead.
I think Chris Jericho is at a point now where I don't think he needs to be on the show every week. I just don't. And I'm with Drew. Obviously there are other things, backstage, I'm just talking objectively of what I'm seeing on my TV screen every week. I have not cared about anything Chris Jericho has done in what feels like about 2 years. That's
since he was Ring of Honor champion and doing the Ring of Jericho and defending it against like past ROH champions every week is the last time I've been remotely interested in anything that's happened.
Yeah, 100%. I have not cared about the Don Callis thing that was happening. I didn't, and I love Kenny Omega. I did not give a shit.
Oh my God, I was
about him and Omega together. I did not care at all. And again, I feel like he can show up for the big events, do a program, have a match at one of the big events, and he doesn't need to be there every week. I don't think he's at that point in his career, and I think there's other stuff on top of it now that makes it feel worse. And yeah, that's how I feel.
The Golden Jets felt like a cursed monkey paw repercussion for wishing for Kenny Omega back on our screens.
Yeah, it did nothing. It did nothing. You know, the only thing I will say it did is it got the Young Bucks to their current form, and and we'll talk about them later. But that was kind of the catalyst story that got the Young Bucks to the characters we're seeing on the screen here. That might be the only good thing that came out of the Golden Jets, because no interest. But anyway, it is a scramble match. I'm hoping Chris Jericho doesn't win, but when I look at this list, he might. I hope not.
It is for an AEW World Championship shot, so you could be like
Wardlow, maybe.
God.
Yeah, but you could be like, oh, you get to beat Chris Jericho. Let's say Swerve wins later on in the night, Swerve taking on Chris Jericho in his first title defense. I beat the first AEW champion type deal. They could do that, but let's hope not. I want Hobbs to win.
Hobbs would be good. I would like.
That's what I want.
Hobbs. Yeah. From the list we got, go ahead, Drew.
I feel like this could be Wardlow's to win, just because they're trying to play up him going after the world title.
Because then eventually he needs to give it to Adam Cole when Adam Cole is healthy and back. That's according to what Adam Cole said.
Because that'll happen.
So,
better not Wardlow.
Do the same thing he did 2 years ago with MJF and the TNT title.
Most likely. I think Wardlow would be a good choice as well. Yeah, I mean, we also got Hook, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, but I feel like Jericho, Wardlow, and Hobbs are the three that the winner. One of those three is going to win it.
I'm going Lance Archer.
All right. Any particular reason why, or is that just who you're rooting for?
Because he will be a fantastic first defeat for the brand new world champion Swerve Strickland.
There we go.
Or he's going to be I feel like either Swerve's going to win or Samoa Joe's going to retain, and Swerve will win it a little farther down the road, maybe. One of those two are either way, I think Samoa Joe and Lance Archer is just a fun match to have too.
Yeah. All right. I would agree.
I'm predicting based off of what I want to see later.
I like it. It's a good strategy. All right. So we got the scramble out of the way. All right, beauty. We got 8 more matches to dissect here. We have a singles match. We saw him on Dynamite last night. We have Will Ospreay going one-on-one with Konosuke Takeshita. This match should be ridiculous. How good this match is going to be. Obviously, the segment we saw on Dynamite, Will Ospreay is going to be a babyface. They are not keeping Will Ospreay with this family at all. That's just not happening, right? Without question. To me, that's a no. What? PLUGGO, you what? Are you laughing? What? We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm muted. I said, they could. Why was I muted?
They could.
That's weird. No.
They could, but
they shouldn't.
Last night, if that doesn't tell you, I don't know. This is a no-brainer? Ospreay getting the big win in his, first official pay-per-view as an AEW wrestler against Takeshita. Is that how we're feeling here when it comes to Ospreay? And
they better.
No.
Oh,
you think he loses?
Yeah. You think that the Callis family?
You can't just say no and go back to painting your nails, Mike. I need more. I want to know what you're thinking.
No, I'm literally the emoji right now.
No. He's like, no,
right,
I'm done.
Is your no because you think that's the catalyst of Will Ospreay getting kicked out that way?
I think that's kind of the catalyst to lead to Will Ospreay breaking off from the Don Callis family, and also Takeshita's not Takeshita's beat Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's no slouch.
Pinned him twice. So yeah, no, I think I think Ospreay will it's not like he's coming in as like a champion from New Japan where like he's got to keep his New Japan belt to go back to New Japan with. He's with AEW now. So like he can come in, have an insane match and get fucked over by the Don Callis family to, you know,
What a way to get heat.
Split things off.
Yeah. All right.
How
are you feeling?
I mean, I really don't feel like either of them should be losing.
Also, if I can make one more point, sorry. I'm so excited for the custody battle of Kyle Fletcher when Mark Davis comes back and sides with Ospreay.
Yeah.
Yes,
that'll be good.
I have that thought too. I was thinking that my prediction for this is that Will Ospreay wins, and then the Don Callis family beat him up afterwards, and then Kyle and Mark makes his return, and they save Ospreay.
Ooh.
I don't know how far. I don't know how far Mark Davis is from being fully recovered.
Yeah, it was a wrist thing, right? Broke his wrist or something like that. Right?
He got injured like what was it, like September of last year?
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Broken wrist's not that long. If it's like just a bone break, it's like that's and no surgery or anything. That's like weeks.
Yeah,
like, he could just be chilling, waiting for the right time,
for the right moment. Yeah, and they knew obviously Ospreay wasn't coming until around this time, full time. So they could have been just chilling, like, hey, let's build this. PLUGGO, how you feeling?
What a trio in AEW that will be.
Oh, it will be. Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. They're gonna rule because they do rule, but like they're gonna. Oh my god, it's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, I think
those belts matter again.
I think it's Ospreay only because like I mean, how could you not in his first official match not have him get a big win? I just think that'd be crazy. Don't get me wrong. I love Takeshita. He's the shit. He's the best. But he's taking an L. But it's going to be probably my favorite match.
Oh, dude, this match should be insanely good. Very much looking forward to that one.
Odds on favorite match of the night.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, this match, there's 9 matches as of this moment. It's a strong card. I think another match that has the chance to be my favorite match of the night is we have ourselves a tag team match. It's FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. We saw there was a trios version of this match on Dynamite last night, which was unbelievable.
Excellent.
But we saw this match. It was so good. We saw this match last week last week where they went to the draw, and we're getting the rematch here. The match that went to the draw was also incredible.
Fantastic raps.
Like just an amazing match. This one I expect will be as good, if not better. I don't know who wins though. Better. So yeah, that was my Boston. If not better.
Better.
PLUGGO, I'll let you lead this time. I don't know where I'm leaning here. I don't know where I'm leaning about who's going to win this match. Honestly, what are you thinking before I pass it over to the gentleman below?
Well, that's where I was when they did the draw. I was like, well, you can't have either one of these teams lose.
I think we're still there.
But you can't do another draw. No, I actually am trying to condition myself to go. It's okay if a team loses. So actually, like, I would like to see FTR get this done, get this big statement win here, and then start working their way back into that tag title picture because I think they've been out of it for too long, which they haven't even been out of it that long. But
they haven't. But
it's FTR. You know what I mean? It's FTR. It's like when they're away, they're away.
Picture. It feels like it's too long.
It feels weird. So it'd be like Claudio and Mox and the Blackpool Combat Club have other things they could be doing. So give me that. I'm going to go FTR. I don't love it because it's Mox and Claudio. I hate picking against them, but you got to pick someone. No more. We can't have a draw.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Although that would be something.
Oh, what, back-to-back draws?
Just like they just keep drawing. They can't figure it out.
And then when you do like a 30 or 60-minute Iron Man tag
match. Keep going into overtime.
There has to be a winner or something.
Yeah,
you could do something wild if that was the case.
Well, that would be nuts, but no, I don't. Yeah. I think it's FTR.
Drew, how you feeling about this tag match? Which way you swaying?
Well, in my eyes, there's a clear winner here in this Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
There is kind of a cloud looming over the tag team of FTR right now, considering somebody has a gun charge.
Oh, legal issues, potential.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you want to get technical,
Alleged gun, I'm going to say alleged, of course, because I was not there. But Cash Wheeler is supposed to be going to trial for this alleged gun incident that he had last year. So I'm wondering if maybe this is like a bit of a swan song for a little bit, so that issue can get dealt with. Maybe Dax will do some single stuff, or maybe he just won't be on TV at all. But I feel like Blackpool Combat Club got this.
Fair.
No way to change my mind, but
well, Mike, how you feeling?
Damn you and your logic.
Yeah, that's some good logic that Drew's got there. That kind of really sways the way I was leaning on this. I was also thinking, FTR probably starts working their way back now that rankings exist again. Start working their way back towards the tag title shot. But maybe, the BCC can go challenge for some tag titles because
why not?
They've challenged for like every other belt. They might as well.
It's fair. I was leaning, and I think I'm still gonna lean. Drew made some great. That is a very valid point, but I was leaning FTR as well. And obviously, we'll talk about the tag team title picture here in a little bit. But I think my pick of that match, like kind of what you said, Pluggo, I think FTR working their way back up to a potential rematch with a very formidable longtime opponent of theirs for those championships is, might be where we're heading. So
the only person in the BCC with gold is Yuta, and he's hurt.
Yeah.
That's a weird thought.
Yeah. And, obviously Blackpool Combat Club working their way up, those two to a tag title, championship win, or just having it makes sense. Claudio and Moxley are, legends in their own right. So, all right, we have the AEW International Championship on the line. It is Orange Cassidy defending against Roderick Strong, who we assume will be brought to the ring by Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Orange Cassidy, he's this second run here with the International Championship. He's still having banger matches. He's still winning all these matches by the skin of his teeth and the things like that. Will this start the plan that Adam Cole? The plan was the Kingdom winning the tag titles, which they won the Ring of Honor tag titles. That was phase 1. Phase 2, Roderick Strong taking the International Championship, and then obviously phase 3 involving the World Championship down the line. But do we think that the Undisputed Kingdom, the plan continues to go their way, and Roderick Strong is leaving Revolution as the new International Championship? Mike, I'm going to start with you, bud. Do we think that's what's happening here?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think if there's a title they're going to have a hard time accomplishing for this plan, I think it's going to be like the world title. I don't think it's going to be any of the other titles, and I think Rod Strong will be a good international champion.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm just looking forward, I hope he defends it because a lot of heels don't like to defend their titles too often. So if he does win it, I hope we just get to see Rod Strong also wrestle a bunch of different people every week, like Orange Cassidy has been, because that's what I've been waiting to see Rod Strong do since he got to AEW. Really,
yeah. I would like to see like that. Roderick Strong is one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and he's been beating the crap out of Orange Cassidy here week after week after week after week to break him down. I agree with Mike. I think Roderick Strong does get it here and he wins the International Championship. And I hope, I agree. I hope he's on TV often. I like the International Championship kind of being like, hey, we're defending this almost every week on television here. Like this is the weekly television. This is the weekly TV championship that you're going to see. I don't want that to stop when Orange Cassidy isn't the champion. I want that to continue throughout. And I think Roddy Strong is a very good choice to carry on that mantle.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's really funny that you called the international.
What did I call it?
No, it's really funny that you referred to it as like the weekly TV belt when they have the TNT title.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But it's weird, right? They have a TBS title, they have a TNT title, but the title every week that we see defended the most on these two channels is the international title. That's the one that we see the most. It is what it is. But Pluggo, why don't we have how you
know how I feel? Roddy should have won this thing 6 weeks ago when Orange Cassidy was ready to fight him after that match.
What do you mean?
What are you doing,
He
Roddy?
wanted to give Orange Cassidy.
I want to give you 6 weeks. My sole purpose
but
is
he's been beating the shit out. But he's been fighting every.
I
week.
know. And then
Roger Strong's been beating the crap out of him.
Last night, he's like,
often.
I'm gonna beat him up and have Nick Wayne win it. I don't know. I think Roddy wins. That doesn't mean I have to like it. If I'm a heel, strike while they are on time. I'm not gonna give you 6 weeks.
I agree.
I'm not gonna let you sit on it for 6 weeks. But no, Roddy should win here. Although Orange Cassidy is still Orange Cassidy, he's still over and he's pulled it out. But they said it's got to happen. Roddy Strong, and you could even run it back, and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, Drew, we'll have you finish up this one. How are you? Are you with the rest of us? You think this is time for Roddy?
Yes, I am with you guys. I think Roddy, it's time again to get the title off of Orange Cassidy.
No gun charges for Cassidy we have to worry about, or Roddy?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
Cool. Hopefully never. But I think we kind of got to start getting back to this Undisputed Kingdom being a big deal again. Because it kind of hasn't been since MJF lost the title. So we need to start establishing them more, and what better way than having one of them? I mean, well, technically, two people have titles in that team, but when are they ever in Ring of Honor?
Sure,
defending them. That's
when is any champion in Ring of Honor?
I was gonna say it's been a while since all the champions have shown up.
They don't.
Like.
Yeah, it's weird, but I feel like it's time for Roddy to get this title and making the Undisputed Kingdom a big deal again. And of course, Orange Cassidy will probably have another match and he'll lose. He can rest up a little bit because, man, is he a workhorse. And listen, I'm saying I want the title off of him, but I don't hate him at all. He is incredible to watch. I love his matches. But I think it's Roddy's turn. It's definitely Roddy's turn.
I agree. I mean, Orange Cassidy, and we talked about it weekly on Firmly and on here all the time. Orange Cassidy, from an in-ring perspective, the last year to year and a half has been one of, if not the standout. Every week, this guy is having top tier matches, top tier, and it's continued. He lost the belt for that couple weeks, and then he got it back, and he just picked up right where he left off. He's incredible. But I do think it's time. I do think it's time to move him off, whether he does take, a couple weeks to rest or he goes somewhere else. You can have a juicy story without a title.
I think it's time that he goes up.
I think he elevates.
I think it's time for him to start going after this title.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. He can go after that title. I would be okay, not terribly down the line. I am firmly in belief that him going for the main title is a believable thing to me because he's shown that he can go with anybody. So, but I think we're all in agreement. It is Roddy's time. We then have another championship. Now, Drew just pointed at that belt. So why don't we talk about it? It will be Christian Cage, accompanied by the family, defending the TNT title against Daniel Garcia. A lot of people have, but man, what they have done to build up Daniel Garcia since the Continental Classic has been a thing of art. I said it, art. It's been a thing of art to watch. Daniel Garcia, the character change, of him kind of figuring out who he was as a person during the Continental Classic and his struggles, and the fans adapt. Like, the fans have always liked him, but like the fans really fallen in love with this guy. And he's still 24, something stupid young. Like, it's really stupid young. I don't think he's gonna. It would be amazing. I don't think he's gonna pull through. I think Christian keeps it. But man, I would have a hell of a time if Daniel Garcia pulled up the big upset and left with the TNT title, because I love what they're doing with him. Drew, I'm going right back to you. I'll have you start this one. How do you think this one's gonna go with Daniel Garcia and Christian?
Listen, I love Daniel Garcia. But yeah, it's not going to be his time right now. Christian Cage is on the run of a lifetime, and he's dropping that belt to Adam Copeland. I don't see anything else happening. I was at World's End. I was there for the title change, and then the second title change. It was evil. That was an evil thing to do to me. But I definitely want Christian to retain as unchristian Cage. I have to side with Christian at all costs.
It's fair.
Christian's my guy. And,
Loyalty, baby.
Yes, it used to be Roman Reigns back when I was the head of the table of certain places, but now it's Christian Cage, and I need to see the definitive Adam Copeland win somewhere down the line, whether it be at the new rumored pay-per-view in April or Double or Nothing in May, somewhere. But the goal is Adam Copeland wins the TNT title. So unfortunately, I don't see Daniel Garcia winning.
That's fair. I'm gonna slide over to Mike, but Scott in the chat, he throws in there. He says, "Is Adam Copeland gonna get involved in this match?" So, Mike, what you're thinking about this match, and if you wanted to answer Scott's question, do you think Adam Copeland? Do we see an Adam Copeland in this match, and kind of how you're feeling about this TNT title match?
He could. It would certainly help with my prediction. Most of what I watch is independent wrestling, so I've been a big Dan Garcia fan for quite some time before he even made it to AEW, and I would like us all to be with celebrating with our fists in the air and thrusting our pelvises on Sunday night as Dan Garcia pins Christian Cage or taps him out in the middle of the ring. It'd be a good time.
That'd be amazing.
But it ain't happening. Christian is gonna get it done. I just because like you guys have all sang the praises of Daniel Garcia, so I'm not gonna do the same, only because I would just be saying the same things that you guys have already said. This wasn't the match that they had planned, so I think it's gonna be a bigger deal. I think Copeland, he might show up. It's in his backyard, as they say. North Carolina area. He's Carolina, right? Copeland and them are all from they're all down there. So maybe he makes an appearance. Maybe he does the Jinder Mahal. Hey, yo, Christian, I'm up here on like the Jumbotron thing. But I think Christian retains.
All right, fair enough.
Misfit Wrestling Podcast in the house. What's up, friend?
Saying tonight somewhere in an alternate universe, it's Southpaw Regional Wrestling's Lethal Leap Year pay-per-view. That's funny.
I just realized I didn't get the hat memo.
So. Oh, yeah, we always wear hats. It's like the only time JPJ is not in a hat is when he gets a fresh cut.
I exist in hat.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
That's
a
great
effing pickle. Damn right.
All right. An hour and 40 and we can definitely swear, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm surprised I've been such a good scout tonight. I don't think
we haven't talked about the Red Sox.
We haven't talked about Boston sports. That's why you get me. All right. We have, as of this moment, the only women's wrestling match on the card. Hopefully they add more, but we have a singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. I would make an argument that of most these matches, the story to this match it has been one of my favorite build-up stories to this pay-per-view, between the once best friends and Deanna Purrazzo challenging Timeless Toni Storm. I've really liked what they've done here. You know, they did the tattoo stuff where they had matching tattoos, and then Toni got tattooed over it. Dastardly. What a dastardly move by Toni Storm. Unbelievable. But I've really liked, you know, the way they've been doing this story of the past friends and how it's, you know, coming to a head. And Deanna is sick and tired of Timeless Toni Storm. They've shot Deanna right to the top since she's kind of showed up in AEW. Mike, I'm going to come to you first. Do we think we're going to see a new AEW World's Women's Championship on Sunday night? Do we think Purrazzo, they get her all the way to the top and she wins?
You know, it would be great, but no.
Right.
I love the way he's saying things tonight. He's just like, nope, done.
Yeah.
It would be great, but nope.
I think there's definitely some meat on the bone still with like things you could do with Timeless Toni Storm. And then also, like, realistically, I'm still waiting for the Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May match that's eventually going to happen, right? Like,
yeah. Now you know, I'm a little torn. I'm leaning towards Toni retaining because I do, Mike, you had just mentioned the Mariah May angle. They're obviously going to go that route at some point. And then, you know, with the rumors of a rather large
Marco Stunt?
Yeah, Marco Stunt, yeah. A rather boss type individual potentially coming into the fold here.
You think Kazuchika Okada and Timeless Toni Storm are going to have a match?
They would have a banger, would they not? Would they not have a banger?
That would be a banger.
That would rule.
You know what? If you may allow me 30 seconds to speak freely and you know, with minimal filter,
do we need to full screen him?
If television wrestling companies weren't so like cowardly and catered to advertisers and like the, you know, the general like old school notion of you can't put a man and a woman in the same ring because people at home aren't going to want to watch that, you could have so many more amazing matches on TV on any given week because, like, really, wrestling should just be like division and genderless anyway. It's wrestling. It's like fake fighting in the first place. You have tiny Rey Mysterio beating, you know, 7 foot tall people. So what's like, does the, you know, does like the gender of a person start to draw the line there? It's very stupid. So yeah, TV wrestling is like already just bizarre in that regard. Back to the card.
No, yeah, not lying.
No,
you're not
wrong. You're not wrong.
Pluggo, I'll go over to you. No, Drew, I'll go to you. I'll let Pluggo finish this one. Are you with Mike? Do you think Toni retains here, or do you see Deanna pulling through?
See, it can go a couple of ways because I feel like maybe a new challenger in the Boss of Boston emerges out of the newest winner, you know, the new champion, Deanna Purrazzo. But at the same time, I just don't want the title off of Toni Storm yet because, God, what a great character this is.
Yeah,
really.
It's just
like
amazing.
This character deserves the title forever.
Let her cook. Let her cook more.
Let her cook.
Yeah, let her cook more.
But I will say this though. I don't think that the eventual feud with Mariah May needs the title involved in it.
Sure, that's fair.
Sure. So I could see Toni retaining, maybe even by Mariah May's help. And then we get to Big Business and the Boss reveal. And then they have their program where the Boss takes the title off of Tony Storm. And that's when Mariah May and Tony Storm get into a thing while Mercedes goes on to do other things. Maybe against Britt, maybe against another debuting woman. Who knows? We also have the rankings to think about too. So it could be possible that Tony Storm's first challenger isn't Mercedes Moné, even though, I mean, it's like, how the hell do you now do that match? Like, immediately. Maybe there'll be some sort of exception to the rankings rule. But, I think Tony Storm is going to retain. Although I wouldn't hate Deonna Purrazzo winning either.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the story right now of what I'm envisioning based off of what I've been seeing, Tony retains for the Boss in Boston.
Ooh, all right. I like it. Pluggo, what are you thinking about this women's championship match?
I'm going with Deonna. Yeah.
Right.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Just cause, Mike. Just
Mercedes and Deonna is a match I would happily be okay
this is
with
where
if they
I'm
don't
at.
have to.
I keep talking about it in all these previews and all these title changes. Not every title change has to be super long, super drawn out. It's okay to hot potato. Plus, if you think about it, like Deonna wins here at Revolution, Mercedes is not coming out at TD and challenging that night. So there'll be some build up, and you could do something with Deonna and Sasha. Granted, I wouldn't hate it if Tony Storm retained, but I'm just gonna be different. I'm gonna say they make the move, they put it on Deonna at Revolution.
And look at
because I think you can go a bunch of ways.
Yeah, and I understand the notion of somebody saying a Mercedes is going to show up and immediately going for the world title, and I don't disagree.
Is she bigger than the title?
Her first match doesn't like what I personally think that Mercedes' first program is going to be with Britt Baker. I think that's the way I would go. Britt Baker hasn't been on television in a long while. You bring her back. You know, you have Revolution on Sunday. Next week's Dynamite, Britt can come back or whatever. You have Britt come back. You know, I'm sick of not being used. I'm sick of whatever. Blah blah blah.
I was the first
underutilized. I carried this division.
Mm-hmm. Hey, she made that boss reference well over a year ago too.
Damn right. You're damn right.
That's
and I
right.
think she can be in that ring in Boston saying, I'm in Boston, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I carried this division. I was the star of this place for a long time. I deserve whatever. And then Mercedes comes out and you have a huge one-on-one match between Britt and Mercedes. And that's someone that obviously Mercedes can beat. It won't be for whatever. That's the route I would go because Mercedes can be fighting for the title. She's Mercedes Moné.
You got to win up. You got to get some wins under your belt out of the rankings. So you could do Deonna here and drag it out till All Out.
You could, or you could have Tony win, drag it out more, and that either way,
there's nothing till All In, right?
No, I'm there.
No, you've got.
I'm sure
April's pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door.
No, Double or Nothing. I forgot all about that.
Unannounced April pay-per-view.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh.
Double or Nothing in May. Forbidden Door is in June.
So you got options. You got options.
They could still drop a pay-per-view in between July and August, but
yes, they can.
There is no way that if you get to All In London, that Jamie Hayter is not involved in the women's world title picture.
Yeah,
Wembley
if she's
Stadium.
healthy, she'll be there. 100%.
Sasha Banks, Jamie Hayter for the strap. Let's go.
Mercedes Moné.
Money. It's gonna take a minute.
No, I know. I still call Edge.
You know what?
I call Edge all the time. So,
I absolutely hate that I've forgotten about Jamie Hayter.
It's just how long the injury's been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just
also,
brutal.
Which I think it's a really cool thing that Britt Baker has kind of, because now I'm just like, well, what if Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter come back, basically like the tandem? Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter show up together.
There you go.
I think then probably I keep it to Tony Storm retaining and not having Mercedes be the one to face her, but Mercedes starts the company doing the Britt Baker thing, maybe going after Saraya, like other people for now, and then Jamie Hayter, the one that beats Tony Storm, and yet All In would be perfect.
Yeah, that's a main event match and All In if you really want to do it. You could have the ladies main event that show with Jamie Hayter and Mercedes for sure.
Didn't Tony Storm win it from Jamie Hayter?
Yes, when she fought and she was clearly banged up, but she fought. But so there's that.
Yeah, double or
Jamie
nothing.
Hayter. Yeah, Jamie Hayter returning whenever it happens. She has unfinished business with Tony Storm. So if Tony Storm is still the champion, that just makes it an even more insane, But obviously we know why Jamie Hayter hasn't been on television for a long time because she's been banged up. Where the hell is Britt Baker? What is going on?
Being awesome, bro. Fixing people's teeth and shit.
It's true. She's a dentist.
Hanging out at the Super Bowl, bro.
She is awesome. She was at the Super Bowl.
She's doing fillings. She's teaching. She's teaching 6-year-olds how to floss.
Britt Baker at one point was maybe the most over person in your company for a while.
This is peak dental season, bro.
Maybe she was like, "Hey, shit's picking up. I need time off. Shit's picking up."
Her pot?
Yeah, I don't know.
After Halloween, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Cavity season.
Candy. He's like, "This is the hot season, baby."
dog.
Fun fact, friends.
Everyone's eating sweets, drinking their peppermint mochas and eggnog lattes. Let's go.
We ain't done this in a while, but I checked. We're at 17
already.
We're at 17 likes on the stream. Let's get to 20. If you're in the chat, hit the like button. Let's get to 20 before the end of this thing.
In about 6.5, 7 months.
Not even. It'll be back in like 2 weeks. Midwest life, baby.
Literally, it was 60 degrees yesterday where I am. Today, barely hit 30. All right. So how's that make sense?
Same.
I have no idea. All right.
I went out to the store. I walked to the store this morning, and I had to wear my winter coat and my hat, and I was freezing and shivering. And then I got home, and then an hour later, the sun was out. The snow that it was snowing when I was out had all started to melt already, and it was like I could have gone outside and walked to the store then in my hoodie.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Hate Canada.
Yeah. All right. We have a 3-way match for the AEW World Championship. It will be the champion Samoa Joe defending against Swerve Strickland and also defending against Hangman Adam Page. I thought the opening segment of Dynamite last night was excellent. Hangman walked out there on a crutch saying that he could not compete at the show on Sunday, which prompted Swerve to come out, and Swerve was kind of putting Hangman over, saying, this, as much as we've been through, this kind of hurts. I wanted to fight you on Sunday, blah, blah, blah. Samoa Joe then comes out, says, yeah, whether it's one of you or two of you, it don't matter. On Sunday, I'm whooping both your ass. I don't care. I'll whoop both your asses. And then Swerve, the switch changes, and he goes, you need to remember, I'm the guy that broke into somebody's house and threatened their little child.
Almost stole a baby.
Almost stole a baby. He said, I almost stole a baby. And then we see Hangman was playing possum all along. He wasn't limping. He attacked Swerve with the crutch, and he's yelling at Samoa Joe that he's going to be leaving the championship on Sunday. I thought it was an excellent segment.
Crazy
shit. They played it off great.
I believed him. I thought he was actually hurt.
I thought they played it off perfectly. I love that that AEW recognized that Swerve is going to get cheered, so they turned Hangman heel. I like the new side of Hangman being a bad guy, a prick. I like it. Like Swerve has turned Hangman into a crazy person.
I love that you
now
call
Hangman
him Hangman.
is insane.
Hangman.
I know, right?
I call him
It's
Hangman
so great.
because JR.
I love
JR
you.
calls him
I
Hangman.
love you. I love
Hangman.
that you call him Hangman. It makes me think of Danhausen.
Yeah,
Hangman.
okay, that's fair. I did it because of JR, because when JR was commentating all the time, he would go Hangman, and I just made me laugh. So
It just makes me think of Danhausen calling Spider-Man Spider-Man.
There we go, Hangman Adam Page. But anyway, I mean, this match is gonna fucking rule. This match is gonna fucking rule.
I'm just trying. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I got little nieces.
Do it like this.
I know. What you're
Oh
doing.
yeah,
Yeah,
do it like
fit,
this.
dude.
You gotta, yes.
Yo, the dude who got caught on camera doing that in the crowd.
Oh
though.
my god! When I saw that live, I laughed so hard.
I was in Discord with a bunch of people watching it. And we all started laughing at him. I was like, "He's a meme already, isn't he?"
Dude, yeah, he's living his best life.
He's a meme.
I'm gonna throw this out
He's
to
already
the
meme
panel.
now.
I'm going to throw this out to the panel, and whoever wants to go first can go first. I'm not going to direct it anywhere. To me, the crowd is going to be behind Swerve. I know all four of us here on this screen love us some Swerve Strickland.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's his time, but I'm still leaning Samoa Joe to retain. Because I feel like it's Swerve's time, but I feel like they're gonna make us wait a little longer.
They can't. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't wait.
I think that's what they're gonna do. That's where I'm leaning. I think Joe retains because Swerve and Hangman can't fucking leave each other alone. I think that's what happens. I'll open it up.
Can we have Mike just be on every stream we do and do like you know how they have like the sign people who sign for deaf people at concerts, but him just be our hand guy?
Just like, he's right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Over here.
No, not the same. You know how they have the PLUGGO? That's where he goes. You know how they have deaf people, people signing for the deaf people? We could just have Mike pointing at us.
He's not signing for the deaf people. He's just like
he's just our point guy. Yeah, I could
people at concerts doing God's work.
Is it worse?
It's all right.
Is it worse? Is it worse that that's what I made the comparison, or that you guys were like, I understand completely what he said?
I understand you, but please don't.
Listen, I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. I totally got it.
Please don't ever equate me to the heroic work of those people ever again.
No, but you know, be our guy, our air traffic controller. Then I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'll totally. Yeah.
To me, it feels like it's Swerve's time, but it also feels like it could be a little too early.
No,
that's all. I agree with you, PLUGGO. Not every title reign needs to be a long title reign. I agree, but I still in this scenario, I'm like, no, Joe should have the title just a little bit longer, and Swerve should come close, but not. And then next time,
it goes against everything I've said.
He needs at least one pay-per-view defense.
Why?
Because he's Samoa Joe. He's fucking awesome. And while I feel like maybe this is only the story that it is now due to multiple injuries in the devil angle.
Yeah.
This is I have to say, even though he's only been champion for 2 months, he's elevated that title in a way that I feel like, as much as I love MJF, and I wasn't one of the people that was like, oh, I want MJF to go away. I feel like he's elevated the title in a way that MJF hadn't between, I'd say, All In to World's End. When it was really just about the devil storyline, it was getting kind of stagnant a little bit. And I absolutely love Joe's demeanor. I love his wrestling. I love everything about him. And while I absolutely want Swerve to win, I have to agree with you, JPJ. It still feels like there's just a little bit more left in the tank. With
he needs some more adversity.
So
anyway, sorry.
Me or them, Mike? You gotta. I didn't say anything, but
I think he's raising his hand.
I'm raising my hand.
I think
Mike. Yeah, you went like this. Yes. This is raising your hand.
This is the bloodline thing.
Yeah, sorry. We the twos.
Yeah, we do the pieces. Go ahead, Mike. Add to what Drew was just saying there.
Yeah, Samoa Joe's winning because I need a prophecy to be fulfilled.
Oh.
I plug Pluggo's just fucking so scared of everything I say tonight.
No, go.
I need a prophecy fulfilled, and the prophecy I need fulfilled is one. I think if Swerve's going to become the AEW world champion, he's gonna beat Samoa Joe straight up in a singles match. He's not gonna like take a win over possibly pinning Hangman Page in the triple threat, or although I'm sure he'd love to. But I think Swerve, like when he wins the world championship, I'd love it to be like in a 1v1, like that's his battle and his battle alone with the champion kind of scenario. But also, I need a prophecy fulfilled, and that prophecy being is I need to see Swerve and Hangman Page blow off their feud in a properly done version of an exploding barbed wire death match. And I think the only way to make that happen at this point is if Hangman Page somehow just like cost Swerve the title on Sunday in not like, I don't know how he's gonna do it because he's part of the match anyway, but like almost like if he takes a pin just to prevent Swerve from getting the title, like that kind of shit.
Well, you know
like,
what I particularly
like something
love?
deep and cerebral kind of thing. Like, what the fuck, you sick fuck?
I don't know who I
like
saw
that type of thing.
I don't know who I saw tweet about it, but like someone tweeted, like, can you just imagine Hangman like maniacally laughing as he's getting pinned by Samoa Joe and sees Swerve coming to break up the pin and just lets himself get pinned to stop Swerve from winning the title, and then just laughing like
I don't think that
the really
has that ever been
amazing
done before.
thing.
Anything like
laughing like a crazy person at him, like an absolute psychopath.
Well, he's been acting like a crazy person. His eyes,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
He's
So
been turning insane.
The mustache, the new thick deal, like
Yes.
it worked so well for him.
We love a mustache.
I actually don't like mustaches, but I think it works.
Save a horse, ride a mustache.
Well, in that case, I make I'll let that go. But
anyway, moving along quickly.
Yeah. So
this is a very horny stream today.
It is. It's very horny.
There's a lot of thirst going on in the stream tonight.
I think that one of the things I particularly love the most about this is that Hangman and Swerve have not cared really about winning their matches. They just want
Drew's
to kill
riding
each other.
cowboys with mustaches. That's what you walked into, Mrs. Pluggo.
Mrs. Pluggo.
And hi, Mrs. Pluggo. I know you were in here about hi. That's what I think, Drew. I think that is going to be the ultimate reason why Joe retains, is at some point, and maybe throughout the match, Hangman and Swerve are not going to be able to get over their hatred of each other to focus on I need to win this match.
Yeah.
Like that's, and that,
The segment on Wednesday did it perfectly because Swerve came out to be the babyface, the clear babyface in this match against what we thought was a one-on-one with Samoa Joe. And then he just gets clocked with that crutch. Now, all of a sudden, that ferocious anger is back in Swerve's head. And it's about pummeling Hangman to death. And that's all they're going to care about in this match. And that's why Samoa Joe's going to retain.
And that's why they need to settle it in a match where they blow each other up and are surrounded by barbed wire.
And Hangman Hangman does segments where he goes to fireworks stands. You got any Husker do's or Husker don'ts? We have not brought up feet yet on the stream, Mrs. Pluggo, because that is exclusively on the For Exposure podcast, which will be this Saturday.
There you go.
It might be.
I don't. Go ahead.
My PayPal link is in my Twitter bio. If you put enough money in there, I might send you a foot pic.
Before we dive into the main event, I will say this.
I want to.
I told you. I think Swerve. I said Swerve's winning. I think Swerve's getting it done. But what I was gonna say is, in the 3 years that we've been doing this show, Spencer has never told us we couldn't do a segment. That stream I did with Big Bad Boris, where he had the feet going and he was talking about, he said, we don't do that. You got to pay for that kind of content around here. So that was the only time I was told we're not allowed to do feet content without getting paid. So
it's the only time we've heard no from Spencer.
Yeah.
So
no free feet.
I think that's
All
a
right.
pretty fair rule, really. Though.
I agree.
That's why you gotta pay.
Money.
That's why you gotta hit my PayPal. I need merch at IWS this weekend, so I'm like half serious at least.
Mike's like, I'll do some dirty things for an IWS
no,
t-shirt or something.
Showing people pictures of my look. If you want to spend money to see these like little, well, not little. I'm a tall person, but like these hobbit feet, fucking
more power
to
you,
bro. Hit me up on the side. I'll do it.
More power to you. You're a rare breed.
Yeah, sure.
I'm fine. I don't need to see anybody's feet.
So. Here we go. See, Drew knows.
Yeah. We have what many think will be the main event of the evening. It will be for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. And more importantly, maybe not more importantly, but also this will be Sting's final retirement.
Now, this is more importantly.
It is. It's above the titles. But, however.
But it's for the titles.
It's for the titles. And it is the champions, Sting and Darby Allin, who we think will be accompanied by the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, going against the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. Now, first and foremost, this might be my favorite version of the Young Bucks that we have seen in all of AEW since AEW has started. I love everything that is happening with the Young Bucks. I love the white bats. I love the white suits when they got the blood all over them. I love the music, and I'm currently running through the show Succession. The music has a very Succession theme song vibe to it, like they are the business man dickheads of the company. I expect this match to be awesome. I want the Young Bucks to win the tag team titles on Sunday night. I know a lot of people don't feel that way. I think either way it'll be fine. But I think that this version of the Young Bucks should leave Revolution as the tag champs. Sting gets his moment at the end of the show where everyone, we all, probably get emotional and we send off Sting because, listen, man, that dude's 64 years old, man, and he's still, when he came down from the rafters on Dynamite last night, I fucking lost my shit. I lost my shit when he came down from the rafters. I felt like I was a 14-year-old. I was like, oh my God. I was screaming.
Like when they did the close-up of the Bucks, like at the entrance, wait for him. I knew it was coming, but still seeing it, I was like, "Oh shit!"
I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" I was like, "This is fucking
1998,
the NWO, 1998." I'm fucking losing my mind. I lost my mind. And I get it how some people think that Sting should win, and then they vacate the titles because it's I think Sting's old school. I would assume he's old school. I think he goes out on his back. I think the Young Bucks win and they leave. But the match is going to be about Sting. The event is about Sting. What's going to happen afterwards is all going to be about Sting. But I love the Young Bucks here. Mike, you're smiling. I'm going to let you go first because you seem giddy.
I don't think it's about this.
I don't think it is.
You know what that was? That smile, that made me go, oh my God, did somebody actually send him money at PayPal?
Yeah, is he does he have to leave the stream early?
No, do I have any Gmail notification? No, if you see a flash going off below me, like if my face suddenly lights up like I'm telling scary stories around a campfire, then you know that I just.
Mrs. Pluggo's buying your feet pics. I might have to have a conversation with her.
But
But Mike, I will
not
leave
plugging
with
the
you.
link now, but
I will leave with you.
Oh my God!
What do we think happens in Sting's last match here? Do we think he goes out with losing the titles, or does he keep them? How do you think we assume the show goes off the air on Sunday night?
Sting's going to be a consummate professional in his last match and put over the young upstart, up and coming talent.
That's right.
Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, of course.
Yeah,
young is in their name.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's a young upstart talent to Sting except for Ric Flair because they're so old
This is kind of fair. Boy, I could have done without him being anywhere near the last like 45
even last
seconds
night.
of
It's just
Dynamite.
That was
last
bad
night.
last night.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing,
man.
dude? He can't even give a fucking. What are we doing? What are we
Can
doing?
I tell you my prophecy, Mike? I've said it. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to stand by it. This is what I want to happen.
I know.
Ric Flair screws over Sting one last time. The Bucks win. They start celebrating with Ric Flair. Then they super kick Ric Flair because they don't need him anymore either.
Yeah,
and we
they can
just
even do.
move on,
You
baby.
can either do the like they should make fun of the "I'm sorry, I love you" and super kick them.
Yep.
Off.
Yep.
See you later.
That's
See
how
you
you
later.
do it.
And then, I can just see, I think the Bucks win. They do the celebration. They get the hell out of there, and then you have Sting and Darby in the ring. That's when the ovation starts, and then Sting does his, whatever's going to happen, whatever they do
I
for
don't know
him.
how we do it.
Drew, are you aligned with the rest of us? Where are you agreeing that the Young Bucks are going to be leaving here with as tag champs?
I do agree that the Young Bucks should win. But I am gonna fucking hate if Ric Flair gets involved. I'm really not gonna be happy about that.
I was hoping that last night, as bad as it was, because it was rough. I was hoping last night maybe took Ric Flair out of the show on Sunday.
Out of commission. Being like,
I was hoping that would be, hey, can this take Rick out of it? It's not going to. It's not going to.
you got to do that.
That one.
But
Yeah, I really don't need it. I
Too
don't know.
bad.
It's his last match. We don't need the Ric Flair shenanigans.
Yeah.
We can just
I like-
have a
my-
clean
yeah,
pin.
my
Don't
thing is
need the Ric Flair.
yes,
That's-
I know look at, and like even when this whole first thing started, right, with the first initial Ric Flair thing, even though I understood it at first, I was like, okay, you want to talk about Ric Flair, you want to mention Ric Flair, he shows up once, waves and leaves, fine. Ric Flair is essential to the Sting story of his career. I'm fine with it. But when it's, oh, I'm going to be here until his last match and involved in all this shit, he met with the Young Bucks 2 weeks ago, and then this, it's like, no, I do not want this. I do not want this. You mentioned him once. He's pivotal to Sting's career. They had that one moment. Get the fuck out of here now. See you later. This is about Sting. It ain't about you. Fuck off. Okay, that's my piece. But that's all. I just want that.
I love you,
that's how I feel.
JPJ.
That's how I feel. That's how I
Yeah,
feel.
no, we don't need him. He doesn't need to be
And
involved. But
it
he
is what
will
it is.
be. You know, he will be.
Yes.
No.
No, I'm
Obviously,
just, I
because-
know, and it's
that match should only be about Sting. Like, obviously, it's about the four dudes in the ring and the tag titles, but that is Sting's match. That should be about Sting. What happens afterwards? I don't want Sting in there with Ric Flair holding his hand. Fuck, get out of here. It ain't about you. We've done 9 of these moments for you already.
I don't care.
Piss
I don't care
off.
about him. I don't care about him celebrating at the end.
I do.
But I don't want Rick involved. I don't want any type of shenanigans in this because I don't need that. Rick had, and I'm hoping too, like he did get involved on last night, and that will. I mean, he might still be ringside, but at least he won't be involved. I just don't want him to be involved.
all they got to do is have, after that went down, if it translated to them the way it translated to us, is just say, hey, Sting, real quick, let's cut a backstage promo where you tell like Rick, like, look, I want to do this without you. One last match, me and Darby for the titles. Play it straight up. You kind of record that, play it on Rampage or Collision or something. Or even do it in the pre-show. You could do it in the pre-show and have Rick there and say, hey, don't come out. I don't need you. Whatever. That's how you close the book on that.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Either way, I mean, Revolution is stacking up to be another excellent.
Looks good. Yeah, it looks real
AEW
good.
pay-per-view. The card is strong. I assume we'll add a couple more matches, even if it is for.
Well, we didn't talk about a match.
Wait,
Which one?
what? Oh yeah, my God, Jesus Christ! I skipped one.
A huge
That's
match.
a huge
honestly.
match. Oh my God, pardon me.
Must not have been that big.
No, it is.
Oh,
How the
Kingston
fuck
and
did I miss
Danielson.
this? How the hell did I miss this? It's right in the middle of the fucking thing. I don't know. Anyway, well, obviously not going to be the main event, but a singles match for the Continental Crown Championship. It is going to be Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson. But if Danielson loses, he has to shake Eddie Kingston's hand, which this whole feud is built upon his refusal to do so, and how that is,
Not the
I can't
code of
believe I missed
honor.
this match. So we'll finish with this one.
Mike was talking about his feet. I got distracted too.
I know.
Hey,
Drew, you were the one that told me, "Hey, fucking great job, JPJ, you asshole." You forgot this match. I'm just kidding. But I'll let you start.
I'm not even allowed to say that on this program, Drew.
Yeah, I don't think we. I probably got in trouble. It's fine.
No, I'm not allowed to call you those kind of names.
No,
Drew's got the.
No, I know Bryan Danielson is a wrestler that you adore, Drew. Do you think he's winning the Continental Crown, or do you think Eddie retains?
So listen, I love both of these men. But as the great Jeremy Lambert says, imagine thinking Bryan Danielson ain't the fucking GOAT.
Yep.
I want Bryan Danielson to win.
Fair.
I want him to win. I want him to win. Sorry, Mike. I want him to win. Because if this is his last year for real, he needs gold. I need to see him with gold at Forbidden Door or somewhere where I'm going to see him again.
Yep.
Potentially the last time.
not from my king, Drew.
I need Bryan Danielson with a championship
World is
before
cold,
he's
Drew.
gone.
You better bundle up.
I'm sorry, Eddie Kingston. I love you. You're one of my absolute all-time favorites. But I want Bryan Danielson to win really bad.
Fair. It's fair. We got Scott in the chat saying Kingston is going to win because of the stipulation of if Danielson loses, he has to shake his hand. Mike, do you think that stipulation foreshadows what might happen?
I don't think it foreshadows what might happen because I don't expect Bryan Danielson to shake his hand or say anything nice to Eddie Kingston at any point anyway.
Fair.
Because why would he have to? He's Bryan Danielson. He's professional
He's gonna
wrestling god.
Say fuck your
But that being said, I still just think I think the person who's finally going to take this shit off of Eddie Kingston is it's going to be a special young person that's getting a monumental tip over push.
All right, I
Who
like
would that be, Mike?
Yeah, I was gonna say Daniel Garcia.
Daniel Garcia would be dope.
Daniel Garcia.
Well,
choice.
imagine it's Daniel Garcia that wins those titles off of Bryan Danielson.
Oh.
And his last match, so to say.
It's possible. That'd be good. All right.
Damn it, Drew.
Well, now I gotta break my brain.
Drew with your facts. Or
I'm
your
in
good opinions. Damn it.
I'm in full Eddie Kingston cosplay right now, and you're just bringing this logic in here, partner.
Pluggo, how are you feeling about
that's like I
the
have
lost
to
match that we're having on Sunday?
Right.
Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston.
It's just throwaway match that we didn't even bother to talk about.
It literally I want to go to Wikipedia. It has the biggest box too. Like of all the boxes,
Oh, that's awesome.
The biggest box.
That's all right.
I was like,
we're
not going to talk about it.
That's all
So
right.
many titles
How
on
are
the
you
line.
feeling?
I was with Drew. I think Danielson would be the move for me because I would like to see him win some type of gold in AEW. Is now the time? Maybe not because I love Eddie Kingston too, so I can't choose. But then again, if I pick Danielson to win this thing, I think I have every title changing hands at Revolution based on me thinking about it. So that's a lot. So I'll just go with it. Clean sweep, baby. Danielson.
Wow. All right. I think this is the first match that we have a split room.
Oh, Lawrence is here.
Lawrence is here now. We got to restart the show.
He heard me mention Marco's stunt.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
listen, we cannot go over all the horniness that we've gone.
No,
over
we can't.
again.
We can't recreate the horniness.
A very
magic.
horny last hour here on B2B. You have missed. But I think
B2B
this is the
in
first match
overtime.
where we have an actual split room because I am with Mike here. I think Eddie Kingston's retaining.
That's right, partner.
So
There we go.
There we go. So it's me and
That's
Mike.
a cool idea. We can start doing that
Yeah,
for these.
oddly
previews.
enough, I
Great.
just got word from Tony Khan that there's a new match on Ground Zero Was that what they call it? What do they call it? No,
0 hour.
0 hour. It's going to be me and Mike taking on the two of you on Sunday. So we have to somehow get to.
I'll kick.
Where are they? South Carolina. Bring Greensboro.
Yeah, that's right. I got my.
Me and Mike are even all wearing. We're wearing red.
Let's say
we're ready to go.
Mike is. Yeah, Drew. We got to work on our gimmick.
We got to work on
our coordination. Blue and gold. But, fine.
Yeah. But we're gonna be we're gonna go the rounds. We're gonna let people know where you can lose as long as
did you see that thing before we get out of here?
What?
Did you guys see that guy get the Tony Khan? So bad.
No, I didn't. What the hell is this? I didn't see this. Someone got a Tony Khan tattoo.
Somebody goes, my Booker of the Year got it inked, and he got Tony Khan tattooed on it, like his portrait. It's glorious.
No.
Oh my
God. What to Tony? Did he send it to Tony on social media?
It's all over social media.
All right. Well,
anyway,
that's
what you're doing.
No. Get off here.
We're gonna see it before we get off here. Don't you worry.
No, I gotta see that too.
Heck, man.
Well, that was Revolution. No, I'm not kidding you.
Oh my fucking God!
Wow. Speaking of AEW, if you want to tune in this Sunday morning,
let's get
hopefully
these
Drew.
plugs.
Oh, this is it. Wow, that's like a good size tattoo.
Yeah, dude.
Well.
It's on the leg.
Is that the calf?
I guess the calf
area.
No, I'm pretty sure that's like a shoulder. I'm pretty sure that's like a shoulder cap of like
a shoulder?
Like a shoulder cap bicep,
bro.
My Booker of the Year got him inked.
Yeah, because like you can see right here, so you can see the knuckles pulling the t-shirt.
Puking off stream. He's sick.
You can see the knuckle tattoos pulling back the t-shirt sleeve over here.
Oh yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, no, that's and then this is because this is the the elbow.
Okay,
would come out
that's
here.
a sizable tattoo. That's the whole upper arm. That's like all of this.
Oh, I fucking hate the internet.
Wow.
Now we need somebody to get the Spenny Love Booker of the Year tattoo for LPW.
If he pays me enough, I'll do it. I'm not scared.
You know what?
I'm not scared.
If somebody else pays for it and then also gives me some extra money, I'd probably get a Spencer tattoo.
Think about it. I would think.
There you go.
Wow, I can't. Oh, is that Toy Story? Way to go!
It is. Yeah. It's It's my Toy Story wallpaper.
Get it on your own face
We
card.
love that.
All right, what an episode! We went over.
I know. Well, I was going to say, obviously, we talked AEW Revolution this Sunday, as long as Drew's health still progresses.
We're good.
We will be talking even more in depth about AEW Revolution and obviously all the week shows of AEW on Firmly AEW at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this very YouTube channel you are watching us on. So please stay tuned for that on Sunday. We want to thank both you, Drew and Mike, for joining us for the AEW portion of this giant show we had tonight. We're going to let you guys let the people know where they can find you, what you're doing, where they can check you out. Mike, we'll start with you and we'll swing it over to Drew, then up to PLUGGO, and we'll be on our merry way. Let the people know.
Find me any and every social media platform at Mike from Indeed. The handy tip, try to get the same name on all your social platforms. But anyway, all social platforms, Mike from Indeed. Sometimes on Twitch, Helldivers is pretty fun, so you might see me on there a little more now. See me on Indeed every Wednesday, Fightful Overbooked, 6 p.m., talking to independent wrestlers with Righteous Reg. And then J-Rose is actually going to be joining us now as a permanent open door co-host whenever he wants. Watch our episode from yesterday. If you like any kind of early 2000s independent wrestling and specifically innovators of like the most insane batshit crazy flippy stuff you've ever seen, we interviewed Ruckus yesterday. Like I'm a better wrestling fan just for having listened to that. It was an amazing time. So please go watch that episode. Where else you can find me? I'll be in the wild this weekend at IWS on Effin' Sanctioned, the 25th year anniversary. I'm coming to Montreal. You're going to see me there. So, if you happen to recognize me in the wild, I'm not an asshole. You can totally come and approach me and say hi, and I'm not going to be a dick about it. So, come say hi.
He might point at you.
I will definitely try to high five you.
Love it.
I'm a high fiver. I'm not a hugger, but I'm
I
definitely
like a good high
fiver.
five. I like a good high five. I'm pro high five.
All right, cool.
Drew, where can the
I
people find you?
I still haven't gotten over that absolutely god awful tattoo. I still have that.
It's gonna haunt Drew's dreams tonight. That tattoo. It's gonna haunt his dreams.
Yeah, that is nightmare fuel. That face, my God. So you can find me. Where can you find me? You can find me collecting super chats and humper chats for the AEW Collision Fightful post show every Saturday night. You can find me on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling podcast, where myself and Bad Blood, the franchise, we cover the news, wrestling news, every week on Saturdays. And of course, my favorite show of the week, firmly AEW, right here on this channel.
I thought
Sundays
at
at 10 a.m.
again.
He's just saying that because I'm here.
I thought he was gonna plug Indeed again.
No. Firmly AEW.
Well, maybe you can get me on Indeed once, and I'll absolutely play.
Wow, more beef between you two.
Wow, what is there beef? I don't know.
Well, it's because we're.
Listen, we're
fighting each other at.
I've seen Washington in person numerous times. I've been on multiple shows with Phil Lindsay. I have not talked or seen Righteous Reg once.
It's fair.
So,
it's fair.
What we
He
got
needs
to
to complete the trilogy.
We got to get you out to like some kind of indie show in your area, and then you can come talk about it with us.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Boom.
Pluggo, do the damn thing. Let the people know where they can find you, where they can find us.
Well, you can find me at Pluggo on all social media platforms. You can find me on Love Wrestling's Patreon. I just talked to Rose, MRB's contender for the LPW Grand Championship. I'm actually talking to MRB shortly. He's going to probably yell at me because I picked against him at 23. So stay tuned for that. That'll also be out pretty soon this weekend. You can find me. You can find what we do, JPJ and I, Between Two Beards on all social medias at B2Beards. JPJ's MLB Power Rankings are under full swing right now. Go check those out. Those are killer. And then you can find me Saturday, 6 p.m. with Blair Pacheco for 4 Exposure, where we talk about independent wrestling on this channel. And we're going to be covering the IWS show that Mike, Lawrence, and Zach will be at.
Shout out and congrats to Blair for
big time.
Big with WVW. That's dope.
Dude, I was just gonna call him a big star all Saturday night. Be like, hopefully you don't forget about us little people. Like, I'm just gonna make him feel bad about getting a very awesome gig, but know that it's awesome, Blair, and I love him.
You said MRB is going to yell at you for picking against him at 23. Do you,
I think so. I don't know.
I'm picking against him at 24. I think Rose has.
Yeah.
Listen, all I can say is that this LPW show that I'm recording here in a few minutes was not my idea. Somebody's not happy with decisions that I made on 4 Exposure.
Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I saw MRB in person, obviously, with my trip to Edmonton. What he's doing right now, man, he's a scary dude. He's a scary dude.
Oh, I get heat every month with this roster.
Yeah, you do somehow, one way or another.
Does he know you also interviewed Rose about her match with him next month?
He will here in a few minutes.
Oh boy, Pluggo's gonna get eaten alive. Get eaten alive.
Listen, Mike, you will be invited back to Between Two Beards because I'm probably going to die.
Yeah, I might need a bearded guy to be my new co-host. So you guys might be getting some DMs from me. You can follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms. I finally have all my different things as the same name. So listen to Mike's advice down there. You can follow me there. Twitch, we play video games, play a lot of Madden. WWE 2K24 comes out next week, and we're just 2 weeks away from MLB The Show, and that usually dominates a lot of my my video game Twitch playing. We've mentioned it a few times, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. on this channel with Drew, firmly AEW. And you obviously know at this point, 8 p.m. Thursday night. We're at 143, almost approaching 150 episodes.
Sir.
Me and my dude Pluggo, Between Two Beards, the flagship here
Taking
at
over
Love
the
Wrestling.
world.
We want to thank Josh Robinson for popping on earlier,
Yes.
talking about Perth and Elimination Chamber. He's
Watch
a
it vlog.
superstar, going to actually become an even bigger superstar this year. So go follow and love Josh. We all four of us and everybody here at Love Wrestling do. Mike, Drew, you know we love you too. Thank you for always being down to join us and talk some AEW. We'll get you guys on here real soon. Everybody in the chat, appreciate all the love and all the comments tonight.
Time.
You guys know the drill. Pluggo and I will see you next week.
PLUGGO.
Till then,
PLUGGO.
enjoy the weekend.
PLUGGO.
Yeah, PLUGGO. Enjoy Revolution this weekend. We'll see you next week. Everyone say hi to Sue. Peace out.
Peace.
Hey there, PLUGGO and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans.